on YouTube. I had planned to start the stream with Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive, but I didn't want to run the risk of the copyright. There's some copyrights I'm willing to run the risk on. That one, for some reason, I was like, I feel like it's enough of a wild card that it would just come down on me hard. I also did not expect that I'd have to do prep for this stream either, but because I thought it would be a fun idea to channel Hachima from Hololive to make it so that when we get finished with a chapter, we go and play around in Holocure as Akai Hato. And maybe talk about the chapter, just talk about things in general. Right now I'm just talking just to kind of give time for anyone to kind of file in that they want to file in. But I did not... A lot of this is last minute. I mean, actually, if we get rid of the reading real quick... But, like, literally Thursday, I was just like... It literally says, your guess is as good as mine. I just figured, hey, I haven't done a reading stream in a while, so why not do a reading stream? The logic is that deep. Nothing really more to it. Hey, I want to play more Holocure, so why not play more Holocure? How do I fit these two things together? Well, I want to read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and there's a bit of that with one of the talents of Hololive. Is it a strong connection? No. Does it work? Sure. Well, I mean, if you tune in, just put it at 2 times speed if you go back to the front if you want to catch up to where we are. It'll also be really weird if you catch up and you get to, like, when I'm reading and I'm just going like... I like that in 2 times speed, but... goodness. I feel like the longer I talk, the more it's just going to be... Listen, you can just skip to where we're going to start reading if you're here, so don't worry about it. Actually, let me get up the correct window. Where is the correct window? There it is. Okay. I realized one problem was, if I can... this isn't going to translate well, but... I have it minimized because I realize having the full thing open and trying to read it is probably what's killing me when I'm trying to do read on stream, at least anything wider than a poem. Because going across the entire page and then having to go back to the other side of the page and find your place is kind of a travesty. Meanwhile, like this, it's a pretty easy to find your spot again. So if you ever want to do a reading stream, make sure you have it windowed to a smaller... Make sure you have the window not minimized, unexpanded? I don't know what the term is. It's expanded, but minimized is when it goes into your low bar. So I don't really remember what the term is off the top of my head for some reason. But we are reading The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. We just read that, and it is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chapter book. So that's like at least... Oh, fuck. Hold up. Hold up. Before we start, I have to restart stream on Twitch real quick. I always forget on Twitch to reset. I always forget on Twitch to reset because you set everything up on YouTube and you're like, everything's good to go, and then you realize, oh wait, no. Is there a reading category? No, there is not a reading category. I guess I have to just go to just chatting. So I get to dwell amongst the whores of the platform. Oh, the cam girls. Don't they have a bathtub tag for, now, so they can more segregate? They can segregate the tramps and the trollops, the strumpets who sound their trumpets. Oh, what a foul tune. But let's correct our mistake. Let's correct our mistake. Okay, and let's restart the Twitch stream. And yeah, so that was a mistake. But let us commence with the reading now. I don't know if anyone is tuned in. It doesn't really matter. That's not what's important. What's important is the fact that we get started. If we can get started. Okay. Let's go. Mr. Utterson the lawyer was a man of rugged countenance that was never lighted by a smile. Cold, scanty, embarrassed in discourse, backward in sentiment, lean, long, dusty, dreary, and yet somehow lovable. At friendly meetings, and when the wine was to his taste, something eminently human beaconed from his eye, something indeed which never found its way into his talk, but which spoke not only in the silent symbols of the after dinner face, but more often and loudly in the acts of his life. He was austere with himself, drank gin when he was alone to mortify a taste for vintages, and though he enjoyed the theatre, had not crossed the doors of one for 20 years. But he had approved tolerances for others, sometimes wondering almost with envy at the high pressure of spirits involved in their misdeeds, and in any extremity inclined to help rather than reprove. I incline to Cain's heresy, he used to say quaintly. I let my brother go to the devil in his own way. In this character, it is frequently his fortune to be the last reputable acquaintance and the last good influence in the lives of the down-going men, and to such as these, so long as they came about his chambers, he never mocked a shade of change in his demeanor. Oh, that scrolled a lot faster than I thought it would. No doubt the feat was easy for Mr. Utterson, for he was undemonstrative. Oh, no. Undemonstrative. I don't know why I messed that up. At the best. And even his friendship seemed to be founded in a similar catholicity of good nature. It was the mark of a modest man to accept his friendly circle ready-made from the hands of opportunity, and that was the lawyer's way. His friends were those of his own blood, or those whom he had known the longest, and his affections, like ivy, were the growth of time. They implied no aptness in the object, hence, no doubt, the bond that united him to Mr. Richard Enfield, his distant kinsman, and well-known man about town. It was a nut to a crack for many. What these two could see in each other, or what subject they could find in common. It was reported by those who encountered them in their Sunday walks that they said nothing looked singularly dull, and would hail with obvious relief the appearance of a friend. For all that, the two men put the greatest store by these excursions, counted them the chief jewel of each week, and not only set aside occasions of pleasure, but even resisted the calls of business that they might enjoy them uninterrupted. I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Oh god. On stream, you have to project yourself more, so I think that's probably the reason why I don't read quite as well as I do in recordings. Ooh. It chanced on one of these rambles that their way led them down a by street in a busy quarter of London. The street was small and what is called quiet, but it drove a thriving trade on the weekdays. The inhabitants were all doing well, it seemed, and all emulously. Hoping to do better still, and laying out the surplus of their grains in concretely, so that the shop fronts stood along that thoroughfare with an air of invitation, like rows of smiling saleswomen even on Sunday, when it veiled its more florid charms and lay comparatively empty of passage. The streets shone out in contrast to its dingy neighborhood, like a fire in a forest, and with its freshly painted shutters, well-polished brasses, and general cleanliness and gaiety of note instantly caught and pleased the eye of the passenger. Two doors from the corner, on the left hand going east, the line that was broken by the entry of the court, and just at that point, a certain sinister block of building thrust forward its gable on the street. It was 2 stories high. So I got distracted by something. Showed no window, nothing but a door on the lower story, and a blind forehead of a discolored wall on the upper, and bore in every feature the marks of a prolonged and sordid negligence. The door, which was equipped with neither bell nor locker, was blistered and disdained. Tramps slouched in the recesses and struck matches on the panels. Children kept shop upon the steps. The schoolboy had tried his knife on the molding, and for close on a generation no one had appeared to drive away these random visitors or to repair the ravages. Mr. Enfield and the lawyer were on the other side of the by-street, but when they came abreast of the entry, the former shifted up his cane and pointed. Oh. Hold up, what, did you ever remark that door? He asked, and when his companion had replied in the affirmative, it is connected in my mind, he added, with a very odd story. Sorry. Indeed, said Mr. Utterson, with a slight change of voice. And what was that? Well, it was this way, returned Mr. Enfield. I was coming home from some place at the end of the world, about 3 o'clock of a black winter morning, and my way lay through a part of town where there was literally nothing to be seen but lamps, street after street, and all the folks asleep. Street after street, all lighted up as if for a procession, and all as empty as a church. Till, at last, I got into the state of mind when a man listens and begins to long for the sight of a policeman. All at once, I saw 2 figures. One, a little man who was stumping along eastward at a good walk, and the other a girl of maybe 8 or 10 who was running as hard as she was able down the cross street. Well, sir, the two ran into one another, naturally enough, at the corner. And then came the horrible part of the thing, for the man trampled calmly over the child's body and left her screaming on the ground. It sounded like nothing to hear, but it was hellish to see. It wasn't like a man, it was like some damned juggernaut. I gave a few hello, took it took to my heels, collared my gentleman, and brought him back to where there was already quite a group about screaming the child. Sorry, group about the screaming child. He was perfectly cool and made no resistance, but gave me one look so ugly that it brought out a sweat on me like running. The people who had turned up were the girl's own family, and pretty soon the doctor for whom she had been sent put in his appearance. Well, the child was not much worse. The child was not much the worse, more frightened according to the sawbones. And there you might have supposed would be the end to it, but there was one curious circumstance. I had taken a loathing to my gentleman at the first sight. So had the child's family, which was only natural. But the doctor's case was what struck me. He was the usual cut and dry apothecary, of no particular age and color, with a strong Edinburgh accent, and about as emotional as a bagpipe. Well, sir, he was like the rest of us every time he looked at my prisoner. I saw that Sawbones turn sick and white with the desire to kill him. I knew what was in his mind, just as he knew what was in mine, and killing being out of the question, we did the next best thing. We told the man we could and would make as such a scandal out of this as should make his name stink from one end of London to the other. If he had any friends or any credit, we undertook that he should lose them. They're going to cancel him. And all the time as we were pitching it in red hot, we were keeping the woman off him as best we could, for they were as wild as harpies. I never saw a circle of such hateful faces, and there was the man in the middle, with a kind of black sneering coolness, frightened too, I could see that, but carrying it off really like Satan. If you choose to make capital out of this accident, he said, I am naturally helpless. No gentleman but wishes to avoid a scene, says he. My name your figure. Well, we screwed him up to the £100 for the child's family. He would have clearly liked to stick out. So he would, I don't know. But there was something about the lot of us that meant mischief, and at least he struck. The next thing was to get the money, and where do you think he carried us but to that place with the door? Whipped out a key, went in, and presently came back with the matter of £10 in gold and a check for the balance on cots, drawn payable to the bearer and signed with the name that I can't mention, though it's one of the points of my story, but it was a name at least very well known and often printed. The figure was stiff, but the signature was good for more than that if it was only genuine. I took the liberty of pointing out to my gentleman that the whole business looked apocryphal, and that a man does not, in real life, walk into a cellar door at 4 a.m. and come out with another man's check for close and upon £100. But he was quite easy sneering. Set your mind at rest, says he. I will stay with you till the bank's open and cash the check myself. So we all set off, the doctor, the child's father, and our friend and myself, passed the rest of the night in my chambers. The next day, when we had breakfast, went in a body to the bank. I gave the check myself, said I had every reason to believe it was a forgery. Not a bit of it. The check was genuine. Tut, tut, said Mr. Anderson. I see you feel as I do, said Mr. Enfield. Yes, it's a bad story. For my man was a fellow that nobody could have to do with, a really damnable man, and the person that drew the check is a very pink of proprieties. Brink of the propriety, sorry, celebrated too, and, what makes it worse, one of your fellows who do what they call good. Blackmail, I suppose, an honest man paying through the nose for some of the capers of his youth. Blackmail house is what I call the place with the door. In consequence, though even that, you know, is far from explaining all, he added, and with the words fell into a vein of musing. From this, he was from. I almost went into his voice. Apologies. From this, he was. Why am I messing this up so bad? It's not even any complex word. From this, he was recalled by Mr. Utterson, asking rather suddenly, "And you don't know if the drawer of the check lives there?" "A likely place, isn't it?" returned Enfield, "but I happen to have noticed his address. He lives in some square or other." "And you never asked about the place with the door?" said Mr. Utterson. "No, sir, I had delicacy," was the reply. "I feel very strongly about putting questions in. It partakes too much of the style of the day of judgment. You start a question, and it's like starting a stone. You sit quietly on the top of a hill, and away the stone goes, starting others, and presently some bland old bird, the last you would have thought of, is knocked on the head in his own bad garden, and the family have to change their name. No, sir, I make a rule of mine. The more it looks queer street, the less I ask." "A very good rule, too," said the lawyer. "But I have studied the place for myself," continued Enfield. "It seems scarcely a house. There is no other door. The body, and nobody goes in or out of that. But oh, Jesus Christ, I don't. And there's no other door, and nobody goes in or out of that one. But once in a great while, the gentleman of my adventure. There are 3 windows looking on the court on the first floor. None below. The windows are always shut, but they're clean. And then there is a chimney with which is generally smoky. So somebody must live there. And yet it's not so sure, for the buildings are so packed together about the court, and it's so hard to say where one ends and another begins." The pair walked on again for a while in silence. Then Enfield, said Mr. Utterson, "that's a good rule of yours." "Yes, I think it is," returned Enfield. "But for all that," continued the lawyer, "there's one point I would want to ask. I want to ask the name of that man who walked over the child." "Well," said Enfield, "I can't see what harm it would do. It was a man, the name of Hyde." Said Mr. Utterson. "What sort of man is he to see?" "He is not easy to describe. There's something wrong with his appearance, something displeasing, something downright detestable. I never saw a man I so disliked, and yet I scarce know why. He must be deformed somewhere. He gives a strong feeling of deformity, although I couldn't specify the point. He's an extraordinary looking man, and yet I really can name nothing out of the way. No, sir. I can make no hand of it. I can't describe him. And it's not want of memory, for I declare I can see him this moment. Mr. Utterson again walked some way in silence and obviously under a weight of consideration. You are sure he used a key? He inquired at last. My dear sir, began Enfield, surprised out of himself. Yes, I know. I know it must seem strange. The fact is, I do not ask you the name of the other party. It is because I know it already. You see, Richard, your tale has gone home. If you have been inexact in any point, you had better correct it. I think you might have warned me, returned the other with a touch of sullenness, but I have been pedantically exact. As you call it, the fellow had a key, and what's more, he has it still. I saw him use it not a week ago. Mr. Utterson sighed deeply, but never a word, and the young man presently resumed. Here is another lesson to say nothing, said he. I am ashamed of my long tongue. Let us make a bargain never to refer to this again. With all my heart, said the lawyer. I shake hands on that, Richard. Okay, so that's the first chapter. Took about 20 minutes, I think, to read. Oop. Okay, we can go into the next chapter, or we can do a round of Holocure, because it's going to be like 20 minutes bouncing back and forth. So I'd want to ask, are you invested in the story, or do you want to go into Holocure, chat a bit, then jump back into the story? Ooh, if you have nothing to say, I'll decide for myself. Actually, I need to open up Holocure regardless, so while that's opening up... Let's see here. Oh, I wanted it to open up in the background, not open up on top of everything else. My apologies. Ooh. It's only 20 minutes, so we might just go into the next chapter. I am the idol. Does that mean you want to go into... Should I interpret that as you wanting to go into Holocure for a round? Why is YouTube so much more blocky? I went in and I changed the text, but YouTube is still like this weird blockiness when... That's weird. But I'm gonna interpret that as you want to go into Holocure real quick. Which means I have to change the stream real quick while we go into Holocure. On Twitch, that is. So... Holocure. Done. So we do a round of Holocure as Hachima. And I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting to put the game up because I put the game down. But let me check real quick. Just some stream settings. Ah! So that means it should be here. Okay. Text. It's okay, I'm like a Mokoko signing fan mail. Hold up. Does the Mokoko have a habit of not signing fan mail all that fast? That's actually really weird. Like, I'm looking at the fonts right now. But like, why is YouTube's font so much fuzzier than Twitch's font? That is really weird. Hold up, let me see. Let me go into the settings real quick. Humor me for a second. Okay. What if I do this? Oh wait, that'll reset everything, won't it? Let me make sure everything is in order. Oh, that's why. Why the hell is it bolden? Okay, I see. Okay, that's gonna reset the chat, but oh no! I think your chat literally got, oh fuck. Fuwawa gives her used pens. Oh, look at that, that's so much cleaner now. That's so much cleaner, use pens when she's tired. So then, wait, takes them and just presses super hard. She gives her the used pens because she's like, you're gonna ruin them anyways. I'm not giving you new shit. Well, but I fixed it. The problem was that it was bolded for some reason by default on YouTube. Okay, because I was like, everything is the same setting, and then I saw that. Okay. We figured it out, chat. It was a very basic issue, but let's, without further ado, get it into the break part of this. The reading went really smoothly. I mean, that was only like 20 minutes. Ooh. Where's Hachima? Actually, wait, let's roll and see if we can get even more Hachima. Or actually character upgrades. Where the fuck did I get this money? Okay. Hachima. Okay. Bop. Oh god. I do like the story of Hachima. I mean, I don't like the sad parts of the story, but I do like the part of the story of Hachima where it's like, oh hey. Like, she debuts and Yagu's like, yes, I have my idol. She is say-so and perfect. Look at her. Look at her with her golden hair. Look how say-so she is with her eye patch. Eye patch? Wait, what? What are you doing with that spider? It went downhill so fast. She got demonetized and immediately turned around. We have to do spider cooking. She got demonetized and immediately was just like, well, if I'm not getting money anyways for monetization, I have no inhibitors. I'm just gonna go full on crazy. I respect the hell out of that, chat. Get the Yagu body pillow. I thought we turned, okay. We have to unlock by the end of this stream, hopefully. Probably not by the end of the stream. But hopefully we can get her alternate skin. Ooh. Hopefully we can get the Hachima skin. I didn't realize I'd have to do that as well. Gain 1 coexistence per second. After 60 stacks, change a heart becomes Eldritch form, where both Hato and Hachima effects are active for 10 seconds. Ooh. God. I like how when everyone saw their art that Mume made of them, they were like, Mume, what's wrong with you? Like, what is this demented stuff? And then when Hachima saw the Hachima spider, her eyes got wide and she was like, this is great. Like, she was like, oh yeah, this is good. Oh goodness. Ooh. Let's see here. Sake, because we need the sake to unlock other stuff. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Now, there's a term for twins that, like, there's an underappreciated subset for twins. Because, like, we all know, like, identical or non-identical twins. But there's actually a subset where, like, because, like, where they are identical twins, but because of a split, because of a genetic mutation, they end up looking slightly different from one another. Ooh. And I forget what that term is. It's, like, the rarest form of twins for obvious reasons. Because you have to have two stable, because they both have to be stable enough to split, but also mutate while they, you know, both stay viable. Ooh. Or at least one has to mutate. The world's strongest. Bah. See here. Last time we kind of got screwed over when we were playing this earlier today because we weren't upgrading the primary attacks. If a target is defeated within 2 seconds after being hit by this weapon, they gain 1% chance of drop a stamp, but may drop a mushroom. What does a mushroom do? I'm actually way more curious about the mushroom. What is Hachima's opinions on Spider-Man? Does she prefer... Who's her favorite Spider-Man? Is it Tobey Maguire? Ooh. Jesus Christ. What does the mushroom do? I don't know this HoloLive meme. I do hope Fomoko gets added next update. So what we should be talking about is the frickin' story. Oh goodness. I like the fact that I'm doing better at reading, in all honesty. I'm still not doing as good as I read off stream, but I do think, then again, I have read that chapter before. So the question is, as we read along, will I get better or worse? Because I've read that first chapter multiple times for doing takes for the recording. Oh. Oh god. Well, it's still weird how, like, I just kind of forgot certain words. Ooh. There we go. What gain crit? Good for you. We're only using the sake because it will get us something we care more about. In Hato form, reduce all damage taken by 30%. In Hachima form, increase attack by 50%. Spider-related weapons deal 15% more damage. That's just funny. I do like characters like Hachima, which who are just like very unique in what they're doing. Because you literally switch between them. Oh. See here. Crap. When you unlock the Hachima, can you like set it so that when you're in the different modes, it shows like that you change the costume, or do you just have the one costume no matter what? But ooh. I'm gonna have to chapter this stream by both the game chapters and by us going between the game and the book. Ooh. See here. Let's go with the curse. The curse is gonna be very important later. You've never played this? I'm pretty sure it's free on Steam. It's pretty much just Vampire Survivor, but with cute girls, so what's not to love? Oh, it's pretty fun. It is very fun, and the creator, it takes a while to update because it's a passion project, but when it is updated, you're always kind of surprised by how much the person did. Like, the person revamped a lot of stuff in this game in the most recent update. Like, the opening screen is, like, completely new. All the menus are new. They opened up, there's, like, this secondary world where you can go fishing or gambling and whatnot. That's been expanded. There's now Jump King in this game. I can't really explain it past that. Ooh. You hear glow stick. What is spider cooking combined with besides the elite cooking? Besides, like, the elite bucket, I can't remember. Ooh. Yeah, but it's a good game because, like, each round theoretically takes 20 minutes, but as you can see, the clock stops when you get to here. So it's more like 20, like 5-ish minutes, or like 20 to 25 minutes effectively. Increase glow stick, drink. Ooh. I'm currently playing Farm Sim, harvesting the part. Oh, actually, I was actually gonna ask how your Farm Sim was going. Whoa! Whatever. I guess you're in Harvest. Oh, fuck. I really want that upgrade. Fan Beam. I do want Fan Beam. Oh, fuck. I want Glow Stick. Okay. I want that box. Actually, the scene's pretty good. I feel like I'm having a better time of it than I was when I was playing as Marine. Marine felt like she was good to begin with, and then kind of went downhill pretty fast. Strengthen. We need to upgrade her, mate. It's alright, not my favorite game because it's very sandboxy and has no story or anything about it, but, anything but it, about it. It's good playing while I watch stream. This is another, oh god. Recently I've been playing Power Wash Simulator. It's like career mode, and I've been enjoying that. That's what I've been doing either while watching stream myself, or simulator games are really good for just that kind of stuff, just to like turn brain off, do menial tasks. Ooh, I've been playing, over the last 2 days, I've played a lot of, not last 2 days, over the last few days, I've been playing a lot of Power Wash Sim. Which is very unusual, because typically I don't play a lot of game off stream of anything. Even games I like, I don't really play a lot off stream. We want to get to Awaken. Oh god, like Musta Kraketh, we must awaken, awaken, awaken. Take the land that must be taken. Yeah, that's like, is that the first like non-pilot episode of, I think that might be the first non-like pilot episode of like, of Metalocalypse, because the first episode is when their chef dies, and they have to like, and the episode concludes with them literally just stitching their chef back together so that he can make them, what, like, French toast? They're like, we can't cook for ourselves, we need to get back. Oh, God. I think literally, like, the second episode is the one where they awaken the river troll and nearly cause the lake troll and cause the apocalypse. Metalocalypse is so good. It and Gundam are the only two franchises where I know that the fans refer to people dying as hamburger time. Oh god. Guys, we could have died there. Yeah, we could have died there. Oh god, I hate even thinking about it. I hate even saying that we could have died. Yeah, death is it's such a harsh term. It's so final. We need to say something else. Yeah, we need to say something like hamburger time. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then for the rest of the episode, they just would keep freaking out about the idea of dying, but refuse to say die. They just say hamburger time. So stupid. And in Gundam, hamburger time is more of a reference to the fact of hamburgers and the fact that one character who dies in Gundam, a paramedic just goes, ain't nothing left but hamburger. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Considering the guy was disintegrated by a particle weapon, I'm kind of impressed there's enough to be described as hamburger left in him, though. Ooh. See here. We need bucket. What is with the desire of man to want to, like, when voicing a lawyer, wanting to make him immediately nasally and just sound like the bureaucrat that he is? What is with that desire to make him immediately sound like blue-haired lawyer from The Simpsons? Because I could have made him sound like the, I could have made him sound like the Simpsons lawyer who talks like this. I forget his name. But you know, the shyster. Who was played by the guy who was in Jingle All the Way, but then, oh god, his wife killed him in the middle of the night, and all of his characters had to be retired. That's a depressing note. Phil Hartman? No, wait, no, Phil Hartman's the Rick and Morty guy. Because lawyers are all professions. Actually, they are. They were literally people who lived the life of actually, and then they got paid for it, and we never should have done that. Whoa. That was really loud, sorry. I don't think it was picked up by the mic, but like some really loud background noise. Oh god. I do like in Justice League, there's a episode where they go like, we have solved the crime problem, and it's just like, how? It's like, all crime is punished by death, and it's like, oh. It's like, well, can we get a lawyer? No, we don't have any lawyers. It's just like, we've also solved the lawyer problem. It's like, what? Like, how? It's like, the lawyers suffer the same fate as the accused. And it's like, it's just like, Jesus. Like Andrew from Legal Mindset. Ooh. I don't really watch those legal YouTubers. Ooh. Though I have heard good things about him. He's not like, Christ alive, what the hell happened to Rakita Law? What happened to that guy? I never really watched him either, so like he wasn't a crack addict, is the thing. Like, I don't need to have watched him to know, like, you know, going from, you know, a functional human being to, you know, his children being found, you know, testing positive in drug tests, you know, like his 7-year-old daughter. It's like, I don't think, we don't need a point of reference. Oh god. Okay, saying he went full lolcat, I feel like that's an understatement. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I feel like that's an understatement. I feel like Boogie is still lolcow territory, okay? Until Boogie, I was gonna say gets a rope, but then I realized he'd probably just break the ceiling if he did that. Which is almost funny if it wasn't so depressing. But when you're arrested and your kids have traces of drugs in their body because your house is so filled up with cocaine, that's not lolcow. That's like, I am concerned. Like, how has this happened? How did you get that much cocaine? How have you done this? How many people do you know on Wall Street? Oh god. I think the dog fucked something up. I might have to check that after this round. Hopefully not before the end of this round. I need to watch those Boogie documentaries because I keep hearing about how, like, Boogie is a testament to what not to become. And I'm like, well, I'm not 500 pounds, so I feel like I'm already kind of safe. But you don't want to be too confident, Jack. You never know. Maybe you'll get a real addiction to hoagies. Oh, fuck. But I need to watch the Boogie documentaries because people keep recommending them. Because at this point, there's like 2 really big documentaries about him, aren't there? Ooh. There's also all the EFAP coverage. Like, they have like 3 or 4 videos covering him as well. Oh, God. Okay. I need to get the bucket. I am deficient in bucket. I need a shit bucket. No, I need the lava bucket. Oh, God. Oh, money, 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 money. We're actually making good money. Swap. Okay. I gotta be careful. I might wake up tomorrow and fake cancer. That was weird. That was kind of weird. I mean, that was. I didn't know he was faking cancer to begin with, to be honest. So I just heard a story like, hey, you hear how Boogie was fake? Like, you hear how Boogie's cancer wasn't real? I didn't know that he said he had cancer to begin with. I didn't know anything about Boogie. EFAP coverage is fantastic, but I mean, all EFAP coverage is long. Listen, you might have to sit down for several hours to, like, appreciate this EFAP video. I've seen bits and pieces, but I need to watch the documentaries first for the context. Let's see here. Okay. It really sounds like Gunner is pissing somebody off. Like, they haven't called me out, or they haven't, like, shouted yet, but I can hear the tone of voice from the background. Awaken. Ooh, yes. Okay. I just remember the Metalocalypse line of, when all of them are talking about how they all have trauma with their father, but Pickle's line is, you know, I just realized I don't know my father's name, and I'm proud of that. Oh, God. I need to learn how to update, how to get stream elements to do the notifications for Twitch. Now that both of them are up. But also, Tapes, look, I fixed the chat. I'm proud of myself. Now I made it so that YouTube doesn't have diabetes anymore. I made it less like Boogie. You see, I think maybe that's it. Maybe Boogie is so cancerous, metaphorically speaking, apparently not literally, evidently, that he like makes everything else fat. He's like a disease. Oh, God. Oh, God. What up? Actually, the first time when I read by myself Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for Mr. Enfield, because I didn't know, like, who Enfield was, I just, like, gave him, like, this old dude voice. And then, like, partway through reading, I was like, oh, wait a second, he's, like, supposed to be the same age as, like, Utterson, and they're both supposed to be, like, in their, like, maybe, like, mid-20s, at latest, like, mid-30s or something. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I have him sound like, I have him go, oh, yeah, how are you doing today? So it's like, okay, well, how would that guy sound if he was, like, not old as fuck? I was like, let's make him sound like a pompous Englishman. Okay, that's young. Because that's all I did, is just a pompous Englishman. Oh, God. When in doubt, if you have an upper-class Englishman, just make them sound pompous, and you're done. Ooh. So here, Ian's curse. No, we need to upgrade these. Fake. 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 This is a weird stream setup. But it does solve an issue of the reading streams, and that is I want to talk during the reading, whether it's about the reading or just about thoughts I have during the reading. But I can't because I feel like it interrupts the reading. So why not just take a 20-minute break every 20 minutes? There, but for the grace of God go I, my usual reaction to lol cows. Oh my god. One content creator in particular might be on the way to becoming a lol cow. They keep doubling down on, because they keep flip-flopping and doubling down. The only reason this person I think isn't a lol cow is because from my understanding they always kind of self-destruct. They never get big enough where they can't just abandon everything and restart. You know, they're one of those kind of people. Ooh. Did it? Let's see here. Asakoko. I do wonder if there's any benefit for using like the same ability on the character. I mean, for Hachima there is, like there's literally a statement of like, you know, using the spider cooking with her gives a bonus. But I do wonder, oh god, if there's like any passives or if that would be an idea by the creator. But, oh, I didn't pick it up. I didn't pick it up. The fairy bread is gonna kill me, chat. Infested with spiders. Spiders. Oh god. Actually, saying that made me think of the fact of how there's so many content creators where people are just like, you know what, this person's okay, I like them. Like, they didn't self-destruct. Oh, sure, they're still doing what they have been doing, but they're having fun with it. And I feel like a funny example of that is definitely the Nostalgia Critic and his brother, where people are just like, Nostalgia Critic, we kind of clowned on you for a while, partially because you were a clown, but like, well, pretty much entirely because you were a clown. But you know what? You're not a half bad guy. You can laugh at people like doing impressions of you. Like when Oni plays does an impression of you, you're like, oh, that's funny. You know, you're like, ah, you know, it's like doing a good impression. It's a good joke, you know? But also like they're not doing it out of bitterness. They're doing it like out of just, you know, like, yeah, I've done silly things in the past, and you know, they're kind of, you know, they're riffing on it, but also, you know, like it's not out of bitterness. Oni Plays does the exact same thing with his brother, Linkara, and Linkara's just like, fuck these guys. And it's just like, they are literally like, they are blood of, like they share each other's blood, but they are like a testament on like how to do things positively versus like how to like fail, kind of like, because nobody respects Linkara nowadays. And I don't know if people respect Doug Walker, but people like kind of like Doug Walker from a distance nowadays. It's also kind of funny whenever people ooh. There's also like short-term gains versus like, sorry, short-term victories versus like long-term victories. Like how people, like JonTron is a great example of that, of how JonTron, people are just like, god damn, living the dream, you know, like JonTron winning. And it's just like, and people are just like, why are you posting JonTron winning? Just to remind Ego Raptor and fucking Destiny that their lives will never be as good as his. And it's just like, wow, that's bitter as hell, that's toxic. I love it. Oh god, because all JonTron does is he's just like, I want to make this. He just makes content that he wants at this point. He just makes like commentary content that he's like, yeah, this is, I think this will be funny. I can make jokes out of this. Meanwhile, you have Aaron who's like, you know, living in a shadow of, he's just like, I had to give up on my dream of being an animator. Or you have Destiny who literally hasn't accepted the fact that he's mentally scarred from the fact that his wife left him because he didn't do anything to keep her. because he was just passive and took her for granted. And he is just like, oh, you know, it's just like, you know, no, I'm enough of a man to get cuffed. It's like, no, you were taking her for granted. Like, ironically, by letting other people have sex with her, you were taking your wife for granted. Ironic, I know. The comparison of Destiny to Jontron lives fucking love lives. I hate how the word lives and lives are the fucking same in English, how read and read are the same fucking word. Even English speakers, there are certain like things in English where English speakers, you just have to get used to it. You will never get used to lives and read. These are two things. These are basic English. You will never get used to reading it because it is fucking interchangeable. And you just, if you're in the mood where you want to read lives instead of lives, congratulations, you're gonna sound like an idiot. For the comparison, yeah, they're love lives. I don't know if we can win this because I can't seemingly get close enough to small Ame. Ame, let me continue reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh, thank you. You just have to ask, chat. You just have to, that's an armpit. You just have to ask, Chad. That's what I've learned about this game. If you ask and you're patient, it'll just come your way. Main menu, hold up. Character gacha. Maybe we'll get lucky. We won't, but maybe we'll get lucky and we'll just unlock the outfit. No. And we'll just unlock the outfit, chat. You ever think of that? Oh! She graduated this year, right? Positively graduated. So many graduations are, they were fired. You have to make the distinction. Oh! Okay. Wait, why haven't we gotten her yet? Oh. You know, I honestly thought when I said that we'd get her. Wow, they fucking love they love Hachima. Oh my god! We're swimming in spider cooking, chat. And vampires. God damn, blonde supremacy. Eh. Do we have enough? Wait. We need 15. How many do we have? We have 7. Damn it! Okay, let's get back to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde real quick. Can we... Hold up, where's reading? Where the hell is reading in relation to... Let's just put reading on top. Okay, I might have to close the game and... Hold up. Okay, I have to put the headphones aside. Okay. Now I have to go... Hold up, I need to go into Twitch and change it back to just chatting. Just chatting. We go back to this. Okay, so that way it'll be time-stamped in the video for Twitch, pre-done. We're cooking. Okay. The search for Mr. Hyde. That evening, Mr. Utterson came home to his bachelor house. By the way, we're continuing reading. This is also a reading stream, by the way. That evening, Mr. Utterson... Okay. Let's just not jump into it. We just covered in the chapter 1 the establishment that there's this freak named... We didn't really talk... We were supposed to talk about it while we played the game. But there's this dude that, like, you know, there's these 2 guys. There's a lawyer named Utterson and his friend. And he was like, I came across this dude, complete dirtbag named Mr. Hyde. And it's just like... And he knew a dude. He got a check from this guy that you would know. I've said too much, and Mr. Utterson's like, I know who you're talking about. I don't believe it, but I know who you're talking about. And now this is Mr. Utterson going to double check, dotting his I's and crossing his T's. Damn it, I'm supposed to say crossing my I's and dotting my T's, because it's fucking wrong. I said it the correct way, which is the wrong way for me. Damn it, we're reading now. Search for Mr. Hyde. That evening, Mr. Utterson came home to his bachelor house in somber spirits and sat down to dinner without relish. It was his custom of a Sunday, when his meal was over, to sit close by the fire, a volume of some dry divinity on his reading desk, until the clock of the neighboring church rang out the hour of 12, when he would go soberly and gratefully to bed. Was that? No, it was two sentences, but that was still one very long sentence. Or one fairly long sentence. Not very. On this night, however, as soon as the cloth was taken away, he took up a candle and went into his business room. There he opened his safe, took from the most private part of it a document endorsed as Dr. Jekyll's will, and sat down with a clouded brow to study its contents. The will was holograph for Mr. Edison, though he took charge of it now, and it was made that now that it was made, had refused to lend the least assistance in the making of it. It provided not only that, in case of decease of Dr. Henry Jekyll, M.D., D.C.L., L.L.D., F.R.S., etc., all his possessions were to pass into the hands of his friend and benefactor, Edward Hyde. But that, in case of Dr. Jekyll's disappearance or unexplained absence of any period exceeding 3 calendar months, the said Edward Hyde should step into the said Henry Jekyll's shoes without further delay. And why does my phone update when I'm in the middle of reading? Okay. Sorry. Period exceeding 3 months. He said Edward Hyde should step into the said Henry Jekyll's shoes without further delay, and free from any burthen or obligations beyond the payment of a few small sums to the members of the doctor's household. This document had long been the lawyer's eyesore. It offended him both as a lawyer and as a lover of the sane and customary sides of life, to whom the fancied was the immodest. And hitherto it was his governed ignorance of Mr. Hyde that had swelled his indignation. Now, by a sudden turn, it was his knowledge. It was already bad enough when the same was but a name of which he could learn no more. It was worse when it became to be clothed upon his detestable attributes, and out of the shifting insubstantial mists that had so long baffled his eye, there leaped up the sudden, definite presentiment of a fiend. I need to read. I need to drink. I realize I have not drank for like the last 40 minutes. It's important to stay hydrated, but when you're reading, you need to stay extra hydrated. Okay. Do. Scroll down. Do not use the sidebar because that goes real fast. I thought it was madness, he said, as he replaced the obnoxious paper in the safe, and now I begin to fear it is disgrace. With that, he blew out his candle, put on a greatcoat, and set forth in the direction of Cavendish Square, the citadel of medicine, where his friend, the great Dr. Lanyon, had his house and received his crowding patients. If anyone knows, it will be Lanyon, he said he had thought. The solemn butler knew, and he welcomed him. He was subject to no stage of delay, but ushered direct from the door to the dining room where Dr. Lanyon sat alone over his wine. This was a hearty, healthy, dapper, red-faced gentleman, with a shock of his hair permanently white, and boisterous and decided manner. At sight of Mr. Edison, he sprang up from his chair and welcomed him with both hands. The geniality as was the way of the man, was somewhat theatrical to the eye, but it reposed a genuine feeling, for these two were old friends, old mates, both at school and college, both thorough respecters of themselves and each other. And I guess Mr. Utterson is actually in his 50s or 60s after all, shit. And what does not always follow men who thoroughly enjoy each other's company, which means Enfield was also old and I did not have to make him sound younger. Whatever. After a little rambling talk, the lawyer led up to the subject which so disagreeably preoccupied his mind. I suppose, Lanyon, he said, you and I must be the two oldest friends that Henry Jekyll has. I wish the friends were younger, chuckled Lanyon. But I suppose we are, and what of that? I see little of him now. Indeed, Mr. Utterson, said Mr. Utterson. I thought you had a bond of common interest. We had, was the reply, but it was more than 10 years since Henry Jekyll became too fanciful for me. He began to go wrong in mind, and though of course I continue to take an interest in him for old sake's sake, that's a weird statement, as they say, old time's sake, I've never fucking hold old sake, let's just keep reading. I see and I have seen devilish little of the man. Such unscientific balderdash, added the doctor, flushing suddenly purple, would have a strange Damon and Pythias. This little spirit of temper was somewhat of a relief to Mr. Utterson. They have only differed in some point of science, he thought, and being a man of no scientific passions except in the matter of conveniencing, conveyancing. So he likes electricity, I guess. He even added, I guess that's what he means, because like conveying currents. It is nothing worse than that. It is nothing. It is nothing worse than that. Whatever. He gave his friend a few seconds to recover his composure, and then approached the question he had come to put. Did you ever come across a protege of his, one Hyde? He asked. Hyde? Repeated Lanyon. No, never heard of him since my time. That was the amount of information the lawyer carried back with him to the great dark bed on which he tossed to and fro until the small hours of the morning began to grow large. It was a night of little ease to his toiling mind, toiling in mere darkness and besieged by questions. 6 o'clock struck on the bells of the church, and was so conveniently near to Mr. Utterson's dwelling that he still was digging at the problem. Hitherto it had touched him on the intellectual side alone, but now it was in imagination also was engaged, or rather enslaved, and he was lay and tossed in the gross darkness of the night, and the curtained room. Mr. Enfield's tale went by before his mind in a scroll of lighted pictures. He would be aware of the great field of lamps of a nocturnal city, then of the figure of a man walking swiftly, then of a child running from the doctors, and then these met, and the human juggernaut trod the child down, passed on regardless of her screams, or else he would see a room in a rich house, where his friend lay asleep, dreaming and smiling at his dreams, and then the door of the room would be opened, the curtains of the bed plucked apart, the sleeper recalled, and lo, there would stay by his side a figure to whom power was given, and even at that and at that dead hour, I don't know why I misread that. He must rise and do its bidding. The figure in these two phases haunted the lawyer all night, and if at any time he dozed over it, it was it was but to see it glide more stealthily through sleeping house, or move the more swiftly, and still the more swiftly, even to dizziness through wider labyrinths of lamplighted city, and at every street corner crush a child and leave her screaming. And still the figure had no face by which he might know it. Even in his dreams, it had no face, or one that baffled him and melted before his eyes. And thus it was that there sprang up and grew apace in the lawyer's mind in a singular, strong, almost inordinate curiosity to behold the features of the real Mr. Hyde, if he could but once set eyes upon him. On him, same difference. He thought the mystery would lighten and perhaps roll altogether away. He was the habit of mysterious things, as was the habit of mysterious things, when well examined. He might see a reason for his friend's strange preference or bondage, call it which you please, and even for the startling clause of the will, at least it would be a face worth seeing, the face of a man who was without bowels of mercy, a face which had but to show itself to raise up it the mind of an unimpressionable infield, a spirit of enduring hatred. From that time forward, Mr. Utterson began to haunt the door in the by street of shops. In the morning before office hours, at noon when the business was plenty and time scarce, at night under the face of a fogged city moon, by all lights, and at all hours of solitude or concourse, the lawyer was to be found on his chosen post. If he be Mr. Hyde, he had thought, I shall be Mr. Seek. Cringe. I'm sorry. This dude really is an actually. You were right, Muon Tapes. Lawyers are the actually guys. Jesus Christ. And at last his patience was rewarded. It was fine. It was fine, dry night, frost in the air, and the streets as clean as a ballroom floor, the lamps unshaken by any wind, drawing a regular pattern of light and shadow. By 10 o'clock, when the shops were closed, the by street was very solitary. Very solitary sounds weird to me. Was very solitary, and it because it's two words rhyming back to back. Sorry. In spite of the low growl of the London from all round, very silent, small sounds carried far. Domestic sounds out of the houses were clearly audible on either side of the roadway. The rumor of the approach of any passenger preceded him by a long time. Mr. Utterson had been some minutes at his post when he was aware of an odd light footstep drawing near. In the course of his nightly patrols, he had long grown accustomed to the quaint effect with which the footfalls of a single person, while he is still a great way off, suddenly spring out distant from the vast hum and clutter of the city. Yet his attention had never before been so sharply and decisively arrested, and it was with a strong, superstitious prevision of success that he withdrew into the entry of the court. The steps drew swiftly nearer and swelled out suddenly louder as they turned the end of the street. The lawyer, looking forward from the entry, could soon see what manner of man he had to deal with. He was small and very plainly dressed, and in the look of him, even at the distance, went somehow strongly against the watch's inclination. But he made straight for the door, crossing the roadway to save time, and as he came, he drew a key from his pocket like one approaching home. Mr. Utterson stepped out and touched him on the shoulder as he passed. Mr. Hyde, I think? Mr. Hyde shrank back with a hissing intake of air. But his fear was only momentary, and though he did not look the lawyer in the face, he answered coolly enough, "That is my name. What do you want?" "I see you are going in," returned the lawyer. "I am an old friend of Dr. Jekyll's, Mr. Utterson of Gaunt Street. You must have heard of my name, and meeting you so conveniently, I thought you might admit me. Dude, you were hiding in a you were hiding in a freaking alley. Like, this guy knows you. I was just walking by. No, you weren't. "You will not find Dr. Jekyll. He is from home," replied Hyde, blowing in the key. I've never seen the word blowing used just to put something in a freaking keyhole. And then suddenly, but still without looking up, "How did you know me?" On your side. On your side, called Mr. Utterson. "Will you do me a favor?" "With pleasure," replied the other. "What shall it be?" "Will you let me see your face?" the lawyer asked. Mr. Hyde appeared to hesitate, and then, as if upon some sudden reflection, fronted about with an air of defiance, and the pair stared at each other pretty fixedly for a few seconds. "Now, I shall know you again. It may be useful." "Yes," returned Mr. Hyde. It is as well we have met. And apropos, you should have my address." And he gave the number of the street and he gave a number of a street in Soho. Good God, thought Mr. Utterson. Can he, too, have been thinking of the will? But he kept his feelings to himself and only grunted in acknowledgement of the address. "And now," said the other, "how did you know me?" "By description," was the reply. "Whose description?" "We have common friends," said Mr. Utterson. "Common friends," echoed a little hoarsely. "Who are they?" "Jekyll, for instance," said the lawyer. "He never told of you," cried Mr. Hyde in a flush of anger. I did not think you would have lied." "Come," said Mr. Utterson, "that is not fitting language." The other snarled aloud into the savage laugh. Then the next moment, with an extraordinary quickness, he had unlocked the door and disappeared into the house. Ooh, like a fucking Disney villain, this dude. The lawyer stood a while when Mr. Hyde had left him, the picture of a disquietude. Huh. Apparently that's a word. Of disquietude. Then he began slowly to mount the street, pausing every step or two and putting his hand to his brow, like a man in mental perplexity. The problem he was thus debating as he walked, was one of a class that is rarely solved. Mr. Hyde was pale and dwarfish. He was pale and dwarfish. He gave an impression of deformity without any nameable malformation. He had a displeasing smile. He had borne himself to the lawyer with a sort of murderous mixture of timidity and boldness, and he spoke with husky, whispering, somewhat broken voice. Apparently, that's what I should be doing for him. All these were points against him, but not all of these together could explain the hitherto unknown disgust, loathing, and fear with which Utterson regarded him. There must be something else, said the perplexed gentleman. There is something more. If I could find a name for it, God bless me, the man seems hardly human. Something troglodytic, shall we say, or can it be the old story of Dr. Fell? Or is it the mere radiance of a foul soul that thus transpires through transfigures its clay continent? The last, the last, I think. For oh, my poor old Henry Jekyll, if ever I read Satan's signature upon a face, it is that of your new friend. Round the corner from the by-street there was a square of ancient, handsome houses, now for the most part decayed from their high estate, and let in flanks and chambers to all sorts of conditions of men, map engravers, architects, shady lawyers, and the agents of obscure enterprises. Shady lawyers, like there's any other kind. One house, however, second from the corner, was still occupied entire, and at the door of this, which wore a great air of wealth and comfort, though it was now plunged in darkness except for the fanlight, Mr. Utterson stopped and knocked. A well-dressed, elderly servant opened the door. "Is Dr. Jekyll at home, Poole?" asked the lawyer. "I will see, Mr. Utterson," said Poole, admitting the visitor as he spoke into a large, low-roofed, comfortable hall paved with flags, warmed after the fashion of a country house by a bright open fire and furnished with costly cabinets of oak. Will you wait here by the fire, sir, or shall I give you a light in the dining room?" "Here, thank you," said the lawyer, and he drew near and leaned on the tall fender. This hall, in which he was now left alone, was a pet fancy of his friend the doctor's, and Utterson himself was wont to speak of it as the pleasant room in London, as the pleasantest room in London. Apparently, pleasantest you can do. I thought it would be most pleasant. But tonight there was a shudder in his blood. The face of Hyde sat heavy on his memory. He felt what was rare. He felt what was rare with him, a nausea and distaste of life, and in the gloom of his spirits he seemed to read a menace in the flickering of the firelight on the polished cabinet and the uneasy starting of a shadow on the roof. He was ashamed of his relief when Poole presently returned to announce that Hyde had gone out. Fuck me, had gone out. I'm just gonna read it. uh, also, I saw Mr. Hyde go in by the old dissecting room, Poole, he said. Is that right? When Dr. Jekyll is from home. Right, quite right, Mr. Utterson, replied the servant. Mr. Hyde has a key. Your master seems to repose a great deal of trust in that young man. Poole, resumed the other musingly. I don't know what anyone's age is in this story. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just apparently it's mixed ages. I don't know why it's. I guess he was a teacher because they said like working with that old dude in college, but then they said something about like before, whatever. Whatever. We're just gonna keep reading. We're just gonna keep reading. That's not important. Uh, yeah, Master. Yes, Yes, he does indeed," said Poole. We have all orders to obey him. I do not think I ever met Mr. Hyde. I do not think I have ever met Mr. Oh dear no, sir. He never dines here, replied the butler. Indeed, we see very little of him on this side of the house. He mostly comes and goes by the laboratory. Well, good night, Poole. Good night, Mr. Utterson. And the lawyer set out home with a very heavy heart. Poor Harry Jekyll, he thought. My mind misgives me. My mind misgives me. He is in deep waters. He was wild when he was young. Oh, a long while ago, to be sure. But in the law of God, there is no statute of limitations. It must be that the ghost of some old sin, the cancer of some concealed disgrace, punishment coming, pedclad. No, normally I'm used to those Latin phrases. Years after memory has forgotten, the self-love condoned the fault, and self-love condoned the felt. And the lawyer, scared by the thought, brooded a while on his own past, groping in all the corners of memory, lest by chance some jack-in-the-box of an old inquiry should leap to light there. His past was fairly blameless. Few men could read the rolls of their life with less apprehension, yet he was humbled to the dust by the many ill things he had done, and raised up again into the sober and fearful gratitude by the many he had come so near to doing yet avoided. Sorry, the fact that literally this had done and had like he had done and he had come and it's like almost perfectly lined up, so that kind of made my brain malfunction a little. And then by a return of his former subject, he conceived a spark of hope. This Master Hyde, if he were studied, thought he, must have secrets of his own, black secrets. By the look of him, secrets compared to which poor Jekyll's worst would be like sunshine. Thank you for pointing out my freaking lisp. Things cannot continue as they are. It turns me cold to think of this creature stealing like a thief to Harry's bedside. Poor Harry, what awakening. He's woke. And the danger of it. For if this Hyde suspects the existence of the will, he may grow impatient to inherit it. I must put my shoulder to the wheel if Jekyll will but let me, he added, if Jekyll will only let me. For once more he saw before his mind's eye, as clear as transparency, the strange clause of the will. Ooh, And now we go back to now we go back to the game. Okay. Okay, so he's like, so he does believe the blackmailing theory. Ooh. Achama. Wait, did we have any? We did not have enough money to like upgrade anything after that. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's actually good to upgrade. We did have enough money to upgrade one thing. Okay, so he's definitely believing the whole blackmail theory, and he's like, I'll help you, buddy. I'll clear you of the blackmail by finding out worse, more compromising information on this freaking Hyde dude. Ooh. It kind of sucks that, you know, the big plot twist of the story is kind of, you know, we already know it. Because it's one of the most famous, ooh. It's technically a sci-fi, isn't it? Because yeah, it's technically a sci-fi. This is a very famous sci-fi. We're too poor. Ooh. Coexistence, spider. Ooh. Oh! Wait, I need to switch over on... I need to switch over to Holocure on Twitch. Ah, that's a little out of sync now. What the hell was that? That was don't worry, that was literally what I was reading. I just saw a lot of text on my screen in like a window, and I'm not used to having a small window open. Ooh. So I thought it was like a something crashed report. And it wasn't just what we had been reading. I was like, oh, what happened? Is my computer dead? Am I still alive? See here, Uber Sheep. I do like this format. Maybe I should pick something a little less long, like a little shorter than Holocure, because Holocure can... I mean, I think our last round of Holocure took like 30 to 35 minutes when it's supposed to be like 20, 25 minutes because of the pausing and whatnot. So maybe I should find something a little more clean, something a little more timely. So thematically, we're still on point using the Hachima. Ooh. Like, I want that enchantment. Enchantress is a comic book character, but I can't remember if Enchantress is like a DC villain or if it's like a Thor villain who wants to jump Thor's bones. It's somebody. It's either DC or Marvel, but like that doesn't really help them in the grand scheme of things. Enchantress. I think she appears in one episode of Justice League or Justice League Unlimited. That also doesn't help us very much, does it? Because a lot of characters actually appear in Justice League by the end of the series. Oh, if the format's great, I'll steal it. Oh my god, wait. I don't know why I suck at reading Starship Troopers, but maybe I could do Starship Troopers and play like a level of Halo on like easy or something. That would also work pretty well. Ooh. How many chapters are in Starship Troopers? Starship Troopers has a lot longer chapters, though. Let's see here. Spider cooking, because I get bonuses from that. Glasses, because I want to be a nerd. Speaking of glasses, this is a reading stream, and I have not been wearing my glasses at all. Part of the reason I have glasses is for reading streams. Oh, goodness. I'm happy though that I'm able to get use out of this toggle. I always want to use it because it looks so damn good. I love how it looks, but I just never get a chance to really use it because it's more thematic. Ooh. Starship Troopers doesn't have the shortest chapters. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so, oh god, Jesus Christ! Starship Troopers chapters actually I don't know like how in total length how long they are, but they are definitely story and or character rich. They are content rich either way. Oh, that's actually maybe not. Sorry, we have this format is good, but it requires certain things. Like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde works pretty well because like it seems that those chapters are between 20 to 30 like minutes to read. Probably depending on if I've read them before, because I think probably the slower pace of that was more to me kind of interrupting myself with my own commentary, but it's probably still about the same length. Are there any pirate games that I could do with Treasure Island? We could do a series where we read Treasure Island while playing a pirate game, and then when we're done, we could watch Treasure Planet. But I don't know any pirate games. We can get One Piece. We can get a One Piece game. We can get the Dynasty Warriors One Piece game. Oh, but those matches take like 40 minutes. Dynasty Warrior matches definitely are too long, so it can't be a Dynasty Warriors game. That would be funny though, doing Treasure Island, then jumping over to Mugiwara no Luffy. We just pirates, fuck yeah. And then going to Treasure Planet of all things. At the very end. Oh shit. Now I'm trying to think of like other things that this would work with. How long are the chapters for the Island of Dr. Monroe, I wonder? Was it Moreau? Is it Monroe or it's Moreau, isn't it? The Island of Dr. Moreau. Oh, we can upgrade now. Enchant. Crit damage. Not really what I want, but beggars can't be choosers. Enchant. Oh god. The only problem I have with the format is I feel like it might confuse people. Oh god, but when I actually when I do the full recording of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which of all things is the one that has the most progress. I think that's my most like recent video project, and it has like the most progress behind it outside of the Death Scythe review. But because I lost the Death Scythe review, V-Fin, I don't know if I can actually finish the review, because if I have to do any reshoots or additional shots, I can't, because I don't have the V-Fin. So that one might be, I might not be able to release that at all, which really pisses me off. But somehow the reading thing has the most progress with it, and I don't know if I want to commission a thumbnail for it, or if I want to actually just use, or just kind of repurpose the thumbnail I have for this, because this thumbnail is literally just based off of the old black and white movie for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I just looked up Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I was like, that's a really clean, poster. I'll take that. Because there's just a post. Hello, land. Right now we are on the talking and not the reading section, so we are yapping. Oh god. And I'm currently talking how I've technically committed copyright infringement on like a poster from the 1920s or 30s to get this thumbnail. I'm currently playing a game called Supervive. There are so many games with super in them. Like, my god, there's a lot of games with super in them, isn't there? Oh god. If you include the Mario games, there's a whole lot of games with super in the title. Like this first word. Supervive, though. I'm only thinking of Super Hot is the problem. What's Supervive about? Ooh. Is it about supervising? Ooh. Is it about vibe checking? No, that'd be super vibe. Vibe. My brain is melting. Help. Doing a little bit better. The dog is outside the door, so that's great. That's another distraction. It's Apex Legends with a mix of LOL. That confuses me all the more. I'm not gonna lie. That gets me all the more confused. I'm gonna be completely... Okay, so like, does that mean like it's... I mean, one is like... Thing is, those aren't even like... One's like a top-down and one's like a first-person game, so like... That makes it so, in terms of Starship Troopers, you could probably get away with just covering the civics chapters. It's been a while since I read it, so I don't quite remember how concentrated it was. Oh god. My concern is more the fact of, I don't know if you were there for the stream, but like, I think you were actually, but last time I tried to read Starship Troopers, it went awful. Like, I could not sync up with Johnny Rico's, like, thought process, like, with his, cadence of, like, the first person, oh god, with the first person writing style. Like, in my head, I have no problem, but, like, my real concern is the fact that, like, reading it out loud, I had probably the most trouble I've ever had reading anything, and I just don't know why the hell that is. Ooh. But I love that story, so I'll probably try it again. Oh god, if the chapters are long enough, I could just be like, you know what, we'll read a chapter, then we'll just do Halo Legendary. We'll suffer on both accounts. Oh god, that's a terrible idea. Oh god. I need more healing. Is what I need. We're definitely not doing Dune. That has chapters that are thick as hell. I don't think it was I don't think I was there. Oh, it was bad. I purged it from my... I could not... Like, I love the opening of Starship Troopers, but for the life of me, I just, like, every sentence I just, like, messed up at for some reason. Like, I could not, for the life of me, read as Johnny Rico. And I wasn't doing an accent or anything. I just couldn't get, like, the structure of his, like, thought processes correctly. Like, I could not sync up with, like, how Heinlein wrote him while, like, reading out loud, which is so weird, because, again, like, reading it in my head, it's clean. It's really clean. Reading it out loud, I'm like... I think I would have an easier time reading Huck Finn. And and Huck Finn is in accent when with all of his stuff he says. Ooh. Sadly, I cannot read Huck Finn for obvious reasons. I want to read Huck Finn because it's an American classic and I really like the themes of Huck Finn. Oh, and I like its commentaries. But no, we can't have that. Oh god. I feel like the only way I could get away with reading Huck Finn is if I read it with Jazz, but I do not know Jazz in that way. I do not know Jazz well enough to collab with him. Oh god. Oh god. I like how the dog starts to do hellish things. I can hear that he's like pissing. Ooh, that he's pissing about outside. Not when I'm just calmly reading. It's when I start playing the game and I can't get up and just go, what's going on out there? And I have to just trust. Yeah, it'll be fine. I haven't heard anything fall over. It's fine. It's fine. Surely. Surely. I want more money. It is a really strong combo to have the card that makes it so you automatically pick up money and the stamp that makes it so that you get more money. Really clean. I suck at reading the Canterbury Tales, even in my head, so that one won't work. Gilgamesh. I actually do have a game I could play with Gilgamesh, but the copy of Gilgamesh I have that flows really well is definitely under copyright, so that doesn't work. Let's see here. What What else could we read? That's something I have to look into after stream. Ooh. You could also just do the rest of the book as well. I don't really know if I have anything scheduled for next month, really. So I mean, like, I could just continue this style of just playing as Hachima, then reading the book. Oh, I still need to finish reading Starship Tree. It's a good book. It's a good book. Oh, most of like the most important things are, as like Muon Tape says, in the like center of the book, the civics parts of the book, where like actually is this Heinlein going, yeah, this is just like my civic philosophy. Here you go. You know, what is it? Starship Troopers is his civic philosophy. Stranger in a Strange Land is his social philosophy, and The Moon is a Harsh Mistress is his like governmental philosophy, if I remember correctly. Which is why those are the, like, if you ever want to understand Robert Heinlein as a person, those are the 3 books you have to read if you want to understand like his psychology. And he has openly said, if you want to understand me as a person, you have to understand all 3 of these books. If you do not understand all 3 of these books, you don't have to like all of them, but if you do not understand all 3 of these books, we can never come to an understanding. You can disagree with them, but you have to understand them. And it's just like, fucking fair enough. Uber sheep. No, I want axe. I forget, is the axe for, the Cosmos girl with the amazing voice? A lot of the Hololive girls have pretty good voices. Watame has an amazing voice. Ooh. Watame has such an amazing voice. Jesus Christ. I wish I understood Japanese, Chad, so I could understand her songs better. But like, Jesus Christ. Watame has such a good voice. I still remember the first time I actually listened to like one of her original songs, and I was like, this is just like, this is good. I have no idea what she's saying, but this is really good. This is so good. This is so clean. Let's see here, feather. Yeah, I'm gonna do the feather. You're expecting to die? Well, we all do eventually, don't we? Oh my god! Oh. So that was a good investment. That was a real good investment, chat. Holy shit. Things got real bad real quick. So we need to upgrade the feather so we have another revive, because we're gonna need it. Evidently. Oh my god. That was money well spent. That was not money, but oh my god. That is like making an investment, coming back the next day and going like, okay, I need to withdraw. I need to sell immediately. It's like, well, like the stock has only gone up by 1 point. I bought low, time to sell high. Miku. Is it Miku or Miko? I can't quite remember right now. I'm panicking. I can't remember their names whenever I play this game. It's my great sin. One day I'll ask you what American classics are essential to Europeans to read in your review. Huck Finn. Unironically, Huck Finn captures a lot of the psychology of the South, of the antebellum period, which is the pre-Civil War era, and the hypocrisy of the culture. There is a reason why it is essential reading in schools and why people keep trying to get rid of it, because it's actually a historical. Unironically, Mark Twain was a satirist, was a writer, comedian, and satirist, and he is a very important writer in American terms. And Huck Finn is technically a very easy to read story. That's not a problem for you, because you obviously have a damn good grasp of the English language. But for other ESL people, don't worry. It's not like you ain't gonna have like, well, actually no, I take it back. That's actually the first American story. That might be the first English story that's written fully in dialect. And what that means is every part of that story is written from the first person perspective of Huck Finn. So it's not, I saw him over there. It's, I saw over there, is how you read it. Actually, I take it back. Huck Finn might be a little bit of a challenging read, because if you do not have a strong grasp of the English language, it might just look like fucking gobbledygook. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Please let me out, please let me out, please let me out, please let me out. Oh god. I forgot it's written completely in dialect. Oh my god. This is so brutal. Oh god. I need to reread Huck Finn though. Both in terms of best works and the most insightful ones regarding American culture. Yeah, definitely Huck Finn is up there. Oh, I'm gonna die again, I'm gonna die again, I'm gonna die again. Oh god, I think I got an upgrade again, but I'm literally like just getting upgrade. Oh my god, I've been needing a more active heal. The passive heal of the sheep has not been doing me a favor. Ooh. Goodness. A really good movie. Shit. A really good movie that a lot of shit. Hold up, wait, but this is going real badly. This is going real bad. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. God. One thing Americans really love to do, because especially older Americans, older generations, because of their love for Greek and Roman mythology, is taking old Greek stories and reapplying them, also biblical stories, to American historical events and time periods. And one really good example of this is actually Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which conveys the folklore, it is a folklore story set in the like 1920s. But it takes heavily and is actually directly based off of the Iliad. No, sorry, the Odyssey, not the Iliad. It's directly based off of the Odyssey, but it is an Americanized version of the Odyssey, effectively. Ooh, and that does not take any time to read. I need to upgrade her main. The reason we're suffering so bad is because she does not have her main upgraded. Let's see here. We'll just be greedy. It'll get us killed, but we'll be greedy. Oh god. Actually, you mentioning books, I have to get a bunch of copies of books of undisclosed topics from an undisclosed friend. I just realized I can't talk about the topics or the friend without disclosing too much about their beliefs, and they like to keep their beliefs close to their chest. I don't. I like to keep my spiritual beliefs very close to my chest, but it is well known for me. If we're playing poker, I'm holding my hand really far out there, and everyone's just like, okay, I know his political beliefs. Like, I don't have to say my political beliefs. I don't know if I've ever said in detail my political beliefs, but everyone who watches my streams is like, I know what he believes. The guy keeps sucking Jefferson's dick. I know what he believes. I don't need to ask. Whoa, this is bad. This is really bad. This is like awful, in fact. This is the worst. This is the worst thing that could be happening right now, because like I can't get back to stuff. I literally just, I had to end myself. Oh Brother, We're Out Though is an original script for a movie, isn't it? Oh god. The movie is directly, it is an original script by the Coen brothers, but it is the Coen brothers. There's multiple brother director teams in Hollywood nowadays. I can't keep track of them all. But the story, in fact, I think the story even opens up stating that it's based off of the the Odyssey. But if you know anything about the Odyssey, you can just like look at it. I mean, there's a one-eyed character who's, there's literally a chapter called The Death of the Cyclops or something like that. Like, okay, well, this is bad. 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 I mean, it'll be able to get back to reading sooner, but like, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. We died. We blew up. Oh, you loved it, Eddie. Oh, it's a great story. It's a great story. If you are familiar with the Odyssey now that you're older, you'll definitely see the parallels. But I mean, there's other things as well. Like, you know, the black guy who's like, I sold my soul to the devil on crossroads to become really good at playing the guitar. That's based off of several black musicians from the 1920s who said that. It was really popular for like guitarists in the 1920s who were black to be like, I'm really good at playing the guitar because I'd made a deal with the devil on crossroads. I can't remember who did it first, but like it was really popular. There's like 3 or 4 people in like a 10-year span where it's like, yeah, I did that shit. Me, not that other guy. He's a poser. Thing is, they were all really good at guitar. Right, sorry, I got slightly confused because I thought you referred to it as a book. There's a book with a very similar title. God damn it. There's a book with a similar title that I may have talked about, but I can't remember it. And I was like, oh, wait. Oh, was it an adaptation? Ooh. It does sound like a book. Oh, brother, where art thou? I fucking love the Crossroads Devil Blues musician. We can actually circle back before we go back to reading. We can actually circle back real quick to the fact that there is a Metalocalypse again. Death Clock goes to a crossroads because they're like really depressed and they need to get their depression solved or whatever. So they're like, we have to learn how to sing the blues to like get this out of us, I think, or something like that. I can't remember. They have to learn to sing the blues for some reason because it's Metalocalypse and they have nothing better to do. And so they go down and they go to the crossroads and the devil comes and the devil is just like, here's the contract. And because they're all like musicians, they like start reading over the contract and going like, okay, well, like, we disagree with this part. Like they have to read their own contracts because they're musicians again. So they just rewrite the contract and give it back to the devil, and the devil just goes like, I'm gonna have to like see an itinerary or something like that. And like Murderface just goes, I'm a licensed itinerary, my own itinerary, and just drives away. And they just go like, well, he didn't sign the contract, but you know enough about blues, go out there. Go out there and sing some blues, boys. Okay. Ooh. And then they sing a blues song and like it summons a tornado and kills a bunch of people because that's every Metalocalypse episode. They sing a song and a bunch of people die and it's really funny every time for some reason. Oh god, there's always a really sick ass song punctuating just wanton horrific death and you're just like, god, this show is just so brilliantly written. Every time you're like, it's like I don't know why it was canceled. I need to see the movie. I think the movie came out. Oh, okay. Now, before we forget, let's switch back to reading. We are at, what mark are we at? We're like 2 hours in. Okay. So this will probably be the last chapter and the last playthrough. Oh. So just chatting? Done? Okay. Now, we can get back to the story, and I'm gonna have to take my headset off because it is really hard for me to read with that music in the background, as I learned last chapter. Please God tell me I didn't close the window like I thought I did. I did not. I need to drink water. In reading terms, it's pretty much like between the gameplay and the chapter, so far both times it's been like almost exactly an hour, which is really clean. Okay. Now, last chapter. Let's refresh before we go back into it. Last chapter, we learned Utterson is autistic, and he cannot get past an issue until he completely comprehends it, or he'll constantly think about it endlessly because he has obsessive compulsive disorder or something. I don't know. He's got something wrong with him. And so he literally stalks a man without he stalks a man by seeing him once, which is an impressive feat. Normally, like, stalkers follow a person all the time. This dude just stalks a building and just waits for him. That's a dedication. I respect that. Don't do that though. Oh god. But he pretty much just waits. He's like, this thing is got me. I apparently have nothing better to do because I'm a lawyer than just to follow up on this, case of a dude who's, living in this building and looks weird, and you know I just gotta wait for him, and I'm just gonna wait for him. He waited for him, saw Mr. Hyde, and he's like, I hate that guy. I gotta go to Mr. Jekyll and ask, what the hell, bro? Who's this Hyde dude, bro? And he, Mr. But what do you know? Dr. Jekyll's not there. Oh, what a weird event. So now let's continue reading. Oh, Jesus Christ. You see, that's why we don't click on the bar. Oh, wait, you didn't see. You didn't see it all, chat. Pro legal tip, it's only harassment if it's repeated. That's true. That is technically true. But the thing is, as we learned last chapter, thank you for saying that because that reminded me. Last chapter, it ends with him going, I'm gonna look into like Mr. Hyde more. I'm gonna dig up some dirt on him because he has to be evil. Just look at him, He looks like I've seen One Piece, okay? Like a dude who looks like this, obviously evil. Like, you just like, this guy, he's not proportionally correct. He's fucked up, dude. You ever seen Blackbeard? You know that dude's evil immediately, dude. He's like, this dude, he looked at him like he sees him like a One Piece villain because he looks like one, bro. But we're a little off because I clicked on this, and just look how fucking quickly that takes us. I hate it. But let's get through the chapter, and now he's going to be looking for blackmail to use against Mr. Hyde in hopes of freeing Dr. Jekyll. Mr. Utterson is looking for. Dr. Jekyll was quite at ease. Chapter 3. A fortnight later, by excellent good fortune, the doctor gave one of his pleasant dinners to some 5 or 6 old cronies, all intelligent, reputable men, and all judges of good wine. And Mr. Utterson so contrived that he remained behind after the others had departed. Let me make sure the game audio is off real quick. Okay. Because I think reading a horror story, I think it's a horror story, reading a horror story sci-fi with do 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 in the background might not be the most tonally consistent thing. This was no new arrangement, but a thing that had befallen many scores of times. Where Utterson was liked, he was liked well. Hosts loved to detain in the dry lawyer. When the light-hearted and loose-tongued had already their foot on the threshold, they liked to sit a while in his unobtrusive company, practicing for solitude, sobering their minds in the man's rich silence after the expression and strain of gaiety. To this rule, Dr. Jekyll was no exception, and he now sat on the opposite side of the fire, a large, well-made, smooth-faced man of 50, with some of the slyish cast, perhaps, but every mark of capacity and kindness. You could see by his looks that he cherished for Mr. Utterson a sincere and warm affection. So if somebody wanted to make, like, sorry for the tangent, very sorry. Remind me the concept of using like a father-son actor for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for an adaptation. Because that's actually, I think, something worth talking about. Give me one moment. I shouldn't be doing this, but I do want to intro myself to do that. So, Dr. Jekyll father-son actor. Because that's not a half bad idea if Dr. Jekyll in the stories is like an older guy, because it seems like this is him. Uh, I've been wanting to speak with you, Jekyll, began the latter. You know that will of yours. A close observer might have gathered that the topic was distasteful, that the doctor carried it off gaily. My poor Edison! Okay, I guess this is the voice we're going with. My poor Edison, he said. Said he. Fucking Christ. You are unfortunate in such a clime. I never saw a man so distressed as you were by my will, unless it were by the Hyde pound pendant. By that Hyde bound pendant. Lanyon, at that. God damn it, now I'm getting distracted. At what he called my scientific heresies. Oh, I know he's a good fellow. You needn't frown, an excellent fellow, and I always mean to see more of him. But a hidebound pedant, Merrick. Not pendant, you freaking idiot. A high-bound pedant, for all that an ignorant, blatant pedant, I was never more disappointed in any man than Lanyon. Most English accent in the world right now. Why the fuck does he... Because we were talking about Huck Finn, maybe? Why did I give him a southern accent? What is going on? You know, I never approved of it. Mr. Utterson, ruthlessly disregarding the fresh topic. My will, yes, certainly, I know that, said the doctor, a trifle sharply. You have told me so. Well, I tell you so again, continued the lawyer. I have been learning something of young Hyde. The large, handsome face of Dr. Jekyll grew pale to the very lips, and there came a blackness about his eyes. I do not care to hear more, he said. Oh, I should have transitioned between models there very quickly. Damn it, that would have been a good thing. This is a matter I thought we had agreed to drop. What I heard was abominable. It can make no change. Now the dog's barking for once while I'm reading. You do not understand my positions, returned the doctor, with a certain incoherency of manner. I am painfully situated. Utterson, my position is very strange, a very strange one. It is one of those affairs that cannot be mended by talking. Jekyll, said Utterson, you know me. I am a man to be trusted. Make a clean breast of this in confidence, and I make no doubt I can get you out of it. My good Utterson, said the doctor, this is very good of you, but this is very good of you. This is downright good of you. I cannot find words to thank you in. I believe you fully. I would trust you before any man alive. Before myself, if I could make the choice. But indeed, it isn't what you fancy. It is not as bad as that. And just to put your good heart at rest, I will tell you one thing. The moment I choose, I cannot be rid of Mr. Hyde. I give you my hand upon that, and I thank you again and again, and I will just add one little word, Utterson, that I'm sure you'll take good part. This is a private matter, and I beg you to let it sleep. Utterson reflected a little, looking in the fire. I have no doubt you are perfectly right, he said at last, getting to his feet. Well, but since we have touched upon this business, and for the last time, I hope, continued the doctor, there is one point I should like you to understand. I have really a very great interest in poor Hyde. I know you have seen him. He told me so. I fear he was rude, but I do sincerely take a very great interest in that man. And if I am taken away, Udison, I wish you to promise me that you will bear with him and get his rights for him. I think you would if you knew all, and it would be a weight off my mind if you would promise. I can't pretend that I shall ever like him, said the lawyer. I don't ask that, pleaded Jekyll, laying his hands upon the other's arm. I only ask for justice. I only ask you to help him for my sake. When I am no longer here, Udison heaved an irrepressible sigh. Well, said he, I promise. That's a very that one was very shorter. That was a lot shorter. That was half the length of the last ones. Do you want to read another chapter, or do you want to go back to, or do you want to end there for the night and go to Holocure to finish off? Ooh. Let's see how long this one is. That one doesn't. This one doesn't seem too. The thing is, this one was a lot more dialogue heavy. I think is the reason why it was so much shorter. Yeah, it's just all the dialogue. You know, like it's all about the dialogue in this one. Well, this one is. This one's gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes itself to read through. So do you want Holocure, or do you want to do one more chapter before we go in? Ooh, I'll wait a minute. I'll wait a minute while I check something. Ooh. We'll probably go with whoever says something first, I'll be honest with you. Oh, God. Uh, that's probably only like, actually consider it. We started reading at, we transitioned at 58. Yeah, that was only like a 10-minute chapter. How many chapters are there in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we get an extra chapter in, then we can do 3 chapters and we'd be done. So, because nobody has said anything yet, I think we are going to do the extra chapter. Unless my delay is really bad. Because that'd really annoy me if my delay, I have like short delay on YouTube, but if this is my way of finding out that my delay is really bad, I'm gonna be really annoyed. Let me actually, I'm gonna get up real quick, so that I can get some water because I need more water. I've run out of water. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna read. Okay, hey, okay, so yeah, I am just gonna read a little bit more. Oh, jeez. Nearly a year later, in a month, nearly a year later, in the month of October, 18. I don't know why that caught me off guard so much. Let's just restart it. Okay, let's start the chapter from beginning because we didn't even read the chapter. So, chapter 4, the the Carew murder case. It's English, so I'm probably reading that correct, or it's pronounced in a really stupid way. Welcome to the English language. Anyways, nearly a year later, in the month of October 18, London was startled by a crime of a singular veracity, and rendered all the more notable by the high position of the victim. The details were few and startling. A maid servant living alone in a house not far from the river had gone upstairs to bed about 11, although a fog rolled over the city in the small hours. The early part of the night was cloudless. I'm muted. No, it was cloudless, and the lane which the maid's window overlooked. Lane, Jesus Christ! I don't know how I said main instead of lane. And the lane which the maid's window overlooked was brilliantly lit by the full moon. It seemed she was romantically given, for she sat down. Yeah, in hindsight, I could just mute it that way. Sorry. Sit down upon her box, which stood immediately under the window, and fell into a dream of musing. Never, she used to say, with streaming tears, when she narrated that experience, never had she felt more at peace with all men or thought more kindly of the world. And as she so sat, she became aware of an aged, beautiful gentleman with white hair drawing near along the lane. The advancing to meet him, another and very small gentleman, to whom at first she paid less attention. When they had come within speech, which what which was just under the maid's eyes, the older man bowed and accosted the other with a very pretty manner of politeness. It did not seem as if the subject of his address were of great importance. Indeed, from this pointing, from his pointing, it sometimes appeared as if he were only inquiring this way, but the moon shone on his face as he spoke, and the girl was pleased to watch it. It seemed to breathe such an innocent and old world kindness of disposition, yet with something high to it, as of a well found self content. Presently her eyes wandered to the other, and she was surprised to recognize him, a certain Mr. Hyde, who had once visited her master, and for whom she had conceived a dislike. He had in his hand a heavy cane, with which he was trifling ass motherfucker. But he answered never a word, and seemed to listen with an ill contained patience. And then all of a sudden he broke out in a great flame of anger, stamping with his foot, brandishing the cane, and carrying on, as the maid described it, like a madman. The old gentleman took a step back, with the air of one very much surprised and a trifle hurt. And at that Mr. Hyde broke out all bounds and clubbed him to the earth. The next moment, With ape-like fury, he was trampling his victim underfoot and hailing down a storm of blows under which the bones were audibly shattered and the body jumped upon the roadway. At the horror of these sights and sounds, the maid fainted. Do we just have a do we have a stream hiccup in the middle of that? It just said I disconnected. Are we still live? What? We good? I'm gonna take this moment to make a note real quick. We good? Okay. So I literally right at the end of that paragraph, I just saw, chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to reconnect you. Successfully reconnected. Okay, good. Thank you. It was 2 o'clock when she came to herself and called for the police. The murderer was gone long ago, but there lay his victim in the middle of the lane, sloppy work, incredibly mangled. The stick with which the deed had been done, although it was of some rare and very tough and heavy wood, had broken in the middle under the stress of the insensate. I know it's incense, but insensate cruelty. And one splintered half had rolled in the neighboring gutter. Again, sloppy work. The other, without doubt, had been carried away by the murderer. A purse and gold watch were found upon the victim, but no cards or papers except a sealed and stamped envelope, which he had been probably carrying to most, and which bore the name and address of Mr. Utterson. This was brought to the lawyer the next morning before he was out of bed, and he had no sooner seen it and been told the circumstances than he shot out a solemn lip. "I shall say nothing till I have seen the body," said he. "This may be very serious. Have the kindness to wait while I dress." And with the same grave countenance, he hurried through his breakfast and drove to the police station. And whether the body had been carried, not whether. As soon as he came into the cell, he nodded. Man did not forget to eat breakfast. Truly, you don't need to ask him nothing. "Yes," he said, "I recognize him. I am sorry to say that this is Sir Danvers Carew. Fucking English ass name." "Good God, sir!" exclaimed the officer. "Is it possible? Is it whatever?" And the next moment, his eye lighted up with professional ambition. "This will make a deal of noise," he said, "and perhaps you can help us to the man." And he briefly narrated what the maid had seen and showed the broken stick. Mr. Utterson had already quailed at the name Mr. Hyde, but when the stick was laid before him, he could doubt no longer. Broken and battered as it was, he recognized it for one that he had himself presented many years before to Henry Jekyll. Is this Mr. Hyde a person of small stature?" he inquired. "Particularly small and particularly wicked-looking is what the maid calls him," said the officer. Mr. Utterson reflected, and then, raising his head, "If you will come with me in my cab," he said, "I think I can take you to his house." It was by this time, about 9 in the morning, that the first fog of the season, a great chocolate-colored pall, lowered over heaven. But the wind was continually charging and routing these embattled vapors, so that as the cab crawled from street to street, Mr. Utterson beheld marvelous number of degrees and hues of twilight. For here it would be dark like the back end of evening, and there would be would be a glow of a rich, lurid brown, like the light of some strange conflagration. And sorry, I get the word conflagration confused with another word, and I got distracted by that. And here, for a moment, the fog would be quite broken, and a haggard shaft of daylight would glance in between the swirling wreaths. The dismal quarter of Soho, seen under these changing glimpses, with its muddy ways and slatternly, sorry, I like that word, passengers, that's to say, dirty women, and its lamps, which had never been extinguished or had been kindled afresh to combat this mournful reinvasion of darkness, seemed, in the lawyer's eyes, like a district of the some city in a nightmare. The thoughts of his mind, besides, were of the gloomiest dye, and when he glanced at the companion of his drive, he was conscious of some touch of that terror of the law and the law's officer, which may at times assail the most honest. All right, Soho is like the Hell's Kitchen of like London. That's what it is. Thank you, story, for reminding me. As the cab drew up before the address indicated, the fog lifted a little and showed him a dingy street, a gin place, a low French eating house. French, that's how you know it's bad. A shop for the retail of penny numbers and a two-penny salad. Many ragged children huddled in the doorways, and many women of many different nationalities passing out key in hand to have a morning glass. And the next moment the fog settled down again upon that part, as brown as an umber, and cut him off from from his blackguardly surroundings. This was the home of Henry Jekyll's favorite, of a man who was heir to £250,000. An ivory face and silver-haired old woman opened the door. She had an evil face smothered by hypocrisy, but her manners were excellent. Yes, she said this was Mr. Hyde's, but he was not at home. He had been in that night very late, but he had gone away again in less than an hour. There was nothing strange in that. His habits were very irregular, and he was often absent. For instance, it was nearly 2 months since she had seen him till yesterday. Very well, then. We wish to see his rooms, said the lawyer. And when the woman began to declare it was impossible, I had better tell you who this person is, he added. This is Inspector Newcomen of Scotland Yard. A flash of odious joy appeared upon the woman's face. Ah, she said, is he in trouble? What has he done? Mr. Utterson and the inspector exchanged glances, which be trifling. He don't seem a very popular character. And now, my good woman, just let me and this gentleman have a look about us. I'm gonna guess that's the officer. Yeah, observe the ladder. So yeah, it was the officer. In the whole extent of the house, which but for the old woman remained otherwise empty, Mr. Hyde had only used a couple of rooms, but these were furnished with luxury and good taste. A closet was filled with some wine. The plate was of silver, the napery elegant, a good picture hung upon the walls, a gift, as Utterson supposed, from Henry Jekyll, who was much of a connoisseur, and the carpets were of many plies and agreeable in color. At this moment, however, the rooms bore very every mark of having been recently and hurriedly ransacked. Clothes lay about the floor with their pockets inside out. Lock-fast drawers stood open, and on the hearth there lay a pile of gray ashes, as though many papers had been burned. From these embers, the inspector disinterred the butt end of a green checkbook, which had resisted the action of the fire. The other half of the stick was found behind the door, and as this clinched his suspicions, the officer declared himself delighted. A visit to the bank where the several £1,000s were found to be lying to the murderer's credit completed his gratification. Oh. You may depend upon it, sir. I have him in my hand. He must have lost his head, or he never would have left a stick, or above all, burned the checkbook. Why, money's life to man. To life to the man. We have nothing to do but wait for him at the bank, and get out the handbills. This last, however, was not so easy to accomplish, for Mr. Hyde had numbered few families. Even the master of the servant maid had only seen him twice. His family could nowhere be traced. He had never been photographed, and few who could describe him differed wildly, as common observers will. Only on one point were they agreed, that he was the haunting sense of unexpressed deformity with which fugitives impressed his beholders. Okay. We got an investigation. I didn't have the cigar, sorry. But yeah, that we got through 4 chapters, and now let's see if we can get through some more Hachima. But I'm actually kind of happy that there was a quick disconnect there, because I wanted to make a note, and that is, it's too late to do this, but a really good pick for like actors who could like be like the old Jekyll and the younger Hyde. Not physically, but like the fact that I said like that father-son idea. The Sutherlands. Keither Sutherland and his father when they were younger. Like now Keither's like 50 something and his father's dead. So that's not an option anymore. But when they were younger, that would have been a really, really good pick, I think. You know, especially because like, even though young Sutherland didn't really look like his son Keither all that much, as they got older, you could see the resemblance more. I think that would have been a good casting. Also, both of them are really damn good actors. So you know it would have been good, at least on that department. Let's go for the Hollow office again. Let's have our hubris. Oop. I still don't know why I decided to give... I mean, I know why the officer, the moment I heard Scotland Yard, I immediately started giving him a Scottish accent. I think that's also why I gave the woman a Scottish accent, the maid a Scottish accent, because like I just had Scottish on the brain. But I still don't get, I do not understand. I know I said it's because we were talking about Huck Finn, but I can't explain for the life of me why the hell I was like, he's gonna be a southern gentleman. That's Dr. Jekyll. I don't know what the hell I was smoking. It was some ganja. Oh goodness. All the volumes are on. Oop. Let's check now before it becomes too late to check, because I'll die. If we see the feather, we have to grab it. It is evident we are not skilled enough not to use the feather, sadly. Oh, yes. That freezes motherfuckers. Wait, no, shit. It freezes motherfuckers if we have the sake, but that's a super collab. And I don't think any of you remember what the super collabs are. Crap. This is the problem of playing on a game on a file that doesn't have that has like nothing unlocked. Is you don't know what's going on. We need the glasses to level up faster. Thing is, the problem is like past level 20, you stop getting upgrades for your main, or they become less often. It's a bit of a pain. Ooh. Oh, dude, the fucking. It sounds like Hyde just went full chimp mode on that dude. Oh god. Oh god, he went full Summers on that guy. I think it was Summers who beat a man half to death in Congress. Oh dude, Senator was talking mad disrespect. Oh, I think I remember what it is. We needed the book also. But a senator was talking, I've told this story many times, but I'll tell it again. A senator was talking mad shit about some House representatives in like the 1800s. And this was like, I think the antebellum period too. So like pre-Civil War is what that means. I don't think I pointed that out when I said antebellum period earlier, but it was a pre-Civil War period. And this was like this guy from like Virginia, because West Virginia didn't exist yet, so it had to be Virginia, I think. But like a representative from Virginia just walked over to, like, walked through the House of Representatives, out the door to the Senate, which I mean it's the same building, but still, walked over there, and while this dude was still talking mad dookie about his like best friend, just started beating the crap out of him, and like half the people there were like, oh my god, like the brutality, the inhumanity. And because it's America, the other half of people there were like, oh, this is good shit. No, don't pull him off. Like, let's see, this is good shit, man. I haven't seen a fight like this in like forever, man. This is good stuff, dude. This is good stuff. Hey, that guy's going to pull him off. Stop him. Stop him right now. I'll be off night. Thanks for the excellent streams. Catch you again some other time. Well, we have RoboCop tomorrow, and we're probably gonna have RoboCop watch along the after that. It'll be posted on Twitter, so just keep apprised. Just go onto Twitter like Saturday or Friday or something, or just tune into the RoboCop stream tomorrow, and you'll probably find out when it is. Oop. Okay. Let's see here. Ah. We really want to upgrade the main. Oh god. And I miss when the Senate and like House of Representatives, really the House of Representatives, because the Senate was always had like an air of pretense to it, but the House of Representatives was always like, it was the House of Commons. It was where the peasants got their representation for in government. And I just love, just the stories of just how unruly the House of Representatives used to be. It just, people would just talk mad shit, like like somebody would be giving. Oh god. We have lost so much, chat. We have lost so much as a nation. I blame the Federalists. But then again, I blame the Federalists for everything. We need the feather. We need the feather. Okay, at this point, we need to invest in getting the heart upgraded and the feather upgraded. Those are going to be our two primary focuses. Why can't everyone be as good as Ame? Why can't Ame? Why can't we just have everyone be as good as Ame? Just Ame's all around. How to heal 7 HP every 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah, that's really. Every time you use your special, like you switch between them, and one is a damage healer, the other one just heals really well. It's the difficulty of balancing. Ooh. Okay. Oh god. Oh god, maybe I shouldn't have read that extra chapter now that I think about it, because I still have to do a bunch of editing for like a presentation I'm doing with Shagmami in 2 weeks. And like, I have to get all the writing done this week so that Shagmami has time before Thanksgiving, oh god, to do her visual touch-ups on the presentation before Thanksgiving. Because I do not want to eat into her vacation weekend, so... Oh, frick. That's pretty good. Yeah, lava bucket. Okay. I'm gonna save until we're really taking damage to switch over. Strengthen. Oh god. You saw it up before, it's pretty damn good. Especially if you connect it with this thing, because it just does a chain area of effect damage. It's not really typically enough to kill anything on its own, but like, you get it upgraded and you get it with some other abilities, it'll just cause havoc, especially when you have the really condensed enemies. Coexistence. In one, every 55 stacks to exchange a heart becomes Eldritch form, where both Hato and oh, that's yeah. I'm gonna link to a too many snacks video, or I'm just gonna show a too many snacks video. I don't know. I'm gonna do something at the end of stream in honor of Hachima. Insane little world's strongest spider. In Hato, yeah, we want the spider bonus. We have two spare lives right now, so we don't need to invest in the feather as much as we need to invest in the hearts right now. It is insane that I have to use strategy for this level of difficulty, but I am that weak. I am that pitiful. Where's my cane? I want to go chimp mode on a motherfucker like Dr. Jekyll. Like, no, like Mr. Hyde. Completely two different people. Completely different people, chat. Completely different people. Ah. We're still able to kite them. We're not constantly running away. No, same person. No, we haven't gotten to that reveal yet, chat. No spoilers for the story that's like 100. How old is it's not, it's over 100 years old because it's not in copyright. We know that much. Thanks, Disney. Dicks. Let's see here. I want to invest in her side abilities. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, as you level up higher and higher, you just stop seeing your main weapon being upgradable, and it's a real pain in the ass. Let's see here. Increase chance of crits. Yes, please. Okay, we're gonna switch to Hato so we can get all that health. Nice, tasty health back. It's a super. We got super glasses. We're gonna be leveling up like a mother now. We need the hearts. I want to upgrade the other stuff, but we need the hearts. I keep not investing in the hearts, and it keeps punching me in the scrotum. It's picking me up. It's like that scene from Dragon Ball Z, the Android 13 movie, where Super Android 13 just grabs Goku by the leg when he kicks him, holds his leg up and just punches him right in the nuts, and they literally animate, they animate a scene where the screen goes white. It's one frame, but the screen goes white, and for one frame, you see two balls. You literally see Goku's balls in the middle of the screen, because that's where his crotch is. Crack. hell of a thing they put in the movie. It's like a Tyler Durden moment from Fight Club. You're just like, did I just see that? Like, it's long enough for you to know something happened, but you're not quite sure what you just saw. Let's see here. Elite bucket. Coexistence. Okay, we are now attack focused. So this is the danger zone for us, as we have learned. But we can switch at any time. That really seems to be the strategy. Just wait on it. See here. Feathers, spider cooking. With our current setup, we can't get the horns anymore. But if we can upgrade the lava bucket, the spider cooking, and the sheep, we can get something better than the cooking, than the horns. Let's see here. So we want to invest in those, so. Okay, lava bucket's still level 1, so I should have upgraded that. Ooh. I'm so surprised by how well this format turned out. I'm really surprised. Oh god, ooh. We probably will do this again, but ooh. Between the Bogu, when is the Bogu? Wait, what is the schedule for December of the first week? I have karaoke on Monday for the first Monday of December for like Christmas songs. That's gonna be awful. Don't tune into that. There's a good chance it will go to unlisted after stream because I'm terrible at singing. But I'll finally do a karaoke. I have the timing up and everything. Let's see here. I think it's just a lack of confidence. It's like the reading thing. As I get more used to it, the singing probably won't get necessarily better, but it'll get less consistently shit, I guess. But on the bright side, her super recovers really fast. Crap, none of those are what I want. But then the Shog Mommy, yeah. Oh god, the Shog Mommy stream is on Tuesday. Or maybe it's the other way around. I cannot remember. I'm gonna have to check. I keep forgetting because it's like 2 weeks away and it's not like in a hard schedule. But the Shog Mommy collab is on. It's karaoke, then Shog Mommy collab, then nothing else is planned. We get to read more Dr. Jekyll on that Thursday. And maybe also the Friday, and then move into a normal schedule. Ooh. Then we do Batman eventually, because I promised Batman for December. If I can find space, we also do Ori, Will of the Wisp. I remember things, chat. I'm not the best at video production, but I'm good at remembering stream topics and when I promise them. Oh god. Just like how Red Dead 2 will be started either around or at the very least at the very latest on anniversary, which is a long time away. That's like 4.5 months away, but still. I'm good at remembering some things at least. I'm good at remembering scheduling. Let's see here. I still can't believe I'm probably going to play The Force Unleashed again in May. Like, I played through the entire game, I'm probably gonna do it again next May. It's a fun game, chat. You can throw people around. You can grab a person, hold them mid-air, and then throw your lightsaber through their chest, and they will literally be grabbing at the lightsaber handle as they're just having their insides cooked alive. It's amazing. I still need to finish Kirby. Christ alive. We finished Kirby, but we never finished the post-game content. That is officially the longest, like, incomplete thing I have. I've done drawing again. It's like less time in between. I have done the Gundam, like returning to Gunpla with less time in between. Oh my god, Kirby, the one thing that I want to do more than anything else is just I never fits in the schedule. Life is pain. Life is pain. I just want to play a game and go, fire! And then talk about really cursed topics. Like thalatomite children. Why would I talk about, like, literally children who were, you know, poisoned by German drugs in a stream about Kirby? I don't know, but it would probably happen. At this point, I don't try to understand why I talk about the things I do when on Kirby streams. I just accept it and move on, chat. I just accept that I just talk about cursed as hell things on that shit. Oh god. Goddamn. Would surprise me if the topic I talk about would be something like, you know, the ancient economics, oh god, of ancient world slavery or something. I don't know. Kirby streams and there's no hold bars. I don't know why. I don't know why. It disturbs me. Not gonna lie. Oh. Upgrade. Okay, we need to switch to Hato because we are taking damage and not recovering pretty much anything. It's a bit of a pain because, oh god, like look how much we just get our health back from that. Okay, and then you. Yes. Thing is, we're still 10 levels away from being able to combine them. So we have to buy time in the, oh shit, we're only at level 6. Okay, well, we still have 10 levels to get the lava bucket up to level 7. So you just gotta think about it positively. Come on, gimme. You're not a lava bucket. That is the weirdest damn sneeze I've heard in a while. There's like an afterglow to that sneeze I just heard. What is going on with that fucking sneeze? Oh god. You really gotta save her a special. Oh, I mean, you should save all the specials, but still. Okay, strengthen. Ooh. Satan! I'm sorry, I just remembered an old SNL skit from saying Satan where a Jesus Christ. Okay, where the skit is back when SNL was funny, or maybe it was Mad, but it's just like, who would do so? It's like a televangelist or something like on TV. Not a televangelist. It's some like religious woman who's just like, now who would do such a thing? Could it be Satan? Oh god. Oh fuck. Okay. X potato. I want to increase attack. Oh god, I'm happy I didn't switch. Okay, now I'm gonna switch. Okay, now that I'm on this side, I can get all the XP that I ran away from earlier. It's all clean, it's clean, chat, don't worry. Oh. I don't know what I can upgrade, but I can upgrade something. You don't have any enchantment on you, so you should have an enchantment. Enchantment complete. Oh! God! I'm surrounded. I'm terrified right now. My butthole's clenched up a little, not gonna lie. Actually, I want greater pickup range because I don't have that fully upgraded. Ooh, outside, in like the outside of the matches. Oh, Aqua. Oh god, she graduated. Also graduated on amicable terms, if I remember correctly. Oh god. Typically, it seems that Hololive is amicable terms. Ooh. God damn it, I still haven't... Ah, god, I was like shown the... Oh god, the Senna had like re-debuted independently because I guess she had gotten into better health. But Christ alive, or at least maybe she just has enough spare time now. But I can't remember, like I'm so pissed off because I can't remember it, and I don't know how to find it at all. Maybe I should just look for like Senna's return or something. But that's kind of easy. That's the easy way out. I don't know if I want to do the easy way out. Give me another feather. Ooh. The thing is, I want to increase the feather, not as I need it, but ahead of time if I think I'm going to die. Because if I remember correctly, the feather gives you more for each time you die, but it's based on what it was upgraded at when you died. So, like, it strengthens you, so I want to make sure if I do die, I'm as strong as possible. Fit. Even though her stuff recharges so fast, like that little bit of time on the in-between where you're just waiting for it to recharge, you just feel so vulnerable. Because again, she just becomes a damage healer, but she loses all that defense that she had. We're just gonna run through these guys. Because our enemies are that way, so we can't run away from them. We'd just be running, they'd just be kiting us into more guys. Ooh. Of all the Hololive girls, which one would have like a relationship with, like, not like, there's like a, would know, not relationship, because that has a loaded term, would know Satan. Which one would know Satan out of all the Hololive girls? I feel like Mori would be the obvious pick, but that's just because she's in the, like, underworld, but, like, she's not hell, she's just, you know, the afterlife. That's a stereotype that all people of the spiritual plane know each other. Mume talks to a demon, definitely, but I don't know if it's Satan. I don't know if it's Satan, but Mume's talking to some kind of dark, some kind of ancient evil. Certainly. Oh, God. Please, 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 please. We're vulnerable, we're vulnerable, we're vulnerable, but we're gonna get that XP. That's what's important. We're getting that XP, chat. So we're gonna upgrade our water more so they're pushed away. It's like we're spitting on them. We're going hatui. Something just dropped, and I have no idea what it was. We're like killing nothing. We're doing terrible. We're just not doing enough damage, it feels, at this point. And that's really concerning. What's over here? There's a purple thing over there. That's an anvil. That's what we need for the collab. Fuck. We were running away from our capacity to do the collab this entire time. I was gonna make a really mean joke. But luckily, though I'm dumb, I'm not that dumb. Though I'm quite tone deaf, I'm not that incompetent, chat. Actually, I need to contact a certain individual because I want to do a collab with them again. Ooh! I really enjoyed the collab I did with Ira, and I want to do another collab. We didn't beat any shoplifters. I mean, I feel like I didn't get the full, you know, supermarket simulator experience. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, I beat some like innocent people with a with a broom, but like, it's not the same. I'm gonna get this one. Have I run past it? No. Jesus Christ. And I will walk 1,000 miles, and I will walk 1,000 more. I think it's actually, no, the song is 1,000 miles, since I will walk 500 miles. Son of a bitch. That's my seagull being strangled impression. How do you like it? Oh god. Please, please, just fucking, please, oh god! This is getting terrible. We need the Yagu body pillow to increase real quick. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Thank god she heals like a beast. No, no, we need to go up, we need to go up, we need to go up. We have to get this. We need this really badly. We need this, chat. This is like not a question. We have to have the super collab. I don't. You two go together, so we should upgrade those and not get anything new. Because the flame is really good. It's like the flame of disaster or whatever the Knuckles meme is. Die! I want you to die. Please just die. Please die. Please die. Please die. I don't want to get to 19 and then just to like everything to go bad. Just for the love of God, die. I mean, we have a feather, but I don't know if our feather can save us if like this guy kills us is the problem. I don't know. We have enough, but like I just don't know, chat. I don't know. Please, God, please die. Die. We might die. Please. Yeah, I'll take it. We killed it with 1 second to spare. Let's freaking go. Let's go. We were right to die, because by dying, we saved our life. Have you heard of Neilbog the Comet, chat? May I introduce you to Heaven's Gate? Oh, God. Okay, Max. I'm amazed that we got it that clean. Oh, last minute pulling it out. Our pull-out game is unmatched, chat. Now, as we have established, Ah-chan is a complete pushover because her pattern, you just have to wait. You just have to wait for her to get into place, and then she just becomes an easy target. Actually, I don't think we haven't gotten this far on stream yet. But as we established with today's earlier stream, like, she's a complete, this isn't where she's a pushover. This actually can hurt us a lot, but we don't care because we can just heal. Not yet. This is the part. She's just gonna fire in a circle, and all we need to do is just stand right here, and we're good. We're pretty much good until she finishes her attack, and then she'll fly away. Yeah. Complete pushover. Like, I feel like maybe they should do a windmill and like a double-ended for that attack, so it's like not so easily exploitable. But then again, this is just the second level, so maybe giving an easily exploitable, making it easily exploitable is the intent, so you can just unload damage into them. See here. We need to heal. But we're gonna end on a victory, chat. Mark my words. Don't worry, we still have 3 revives. We're gonna Puss in Boots this shit. Like, you know, I got spare lives. It's good, bro. It's good, bro. As long as a wolf doesn't come at us in a banging ass hoodie, we're safe, chat. Okay, but if you see a white wolf, you tell me immediately, because we might be a little boned. We got her. We got her. We end on a high note. Main menu. How much money we got out of that? Hold up. Can we technically force us to get outfits? We have 7. We have 9,000. So we can literally make guarantee we can get 15. So if we don't pull Hachima, we can literally force Hachima. Also, we finally got, I think it's Natsuri. We got a different alternate outfit. How adorable, but not the one we wanted. You ungrateful swine. Yes, I am. How did you know? Ooh. Yeah, this generation really loved the blonde girls. Oh my god. The fucking irony. She had a third outfit, chat. We got the alternate outfit, but it wasn't the Hachima outfit. The irony, it's poignant. Oh god, we ain't gonna get it in 3 polls. Oh, fuck. The irony, chat. Okay, outfits. You know what? Actually, we won't get Hachima because we're gonna be doing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde again. So we're gonna just pull for Hachima again in the future. Because, oh, we don't actually have enough. We only have 14, so we couldn't afford her if we wanted to. We're too poor. What did the game mean by this? You poor bitch. Okay, so I guess it's not 1-to-1. Oh wait, we still have 1 more poll. Well, we might as well poll it. We're not gonna get anything. But, yeah, we got... Okay, so we technically could, I think, now afford... Yeah, we could afford it now, but we won't. Because we can do it again next stream. It's the gambling that's important. It's not the winning, it's the journey, chat. It's the losing the money, okay? Luckily in this game, you don't lose money. If you do what we're doing right now, you can do it up to 20 times on an individual character, and all it will do is every time you pull the same character, it will actually increase their stats up to 20 times. So like, there's no real cost, there's no downside to us pulling again and again and again. So we're just gonna pull again in the future. We're gonna look at, like, we're gonna end looking at this nice little outfit that I don't recognize because I don't speak Japanese, so I don't really watch the Japanese talents. But she speaks some English, actually. There's some good-ass Hachima memes. Some peak Hachima memes, some real good stuff. Math confuses me. Didn't we have like 7? We had like, wait, we get a teardrop for like each one we get, right? So, no, we only get a teardrop for when we get a new character. Oh, so we only get a teardrop if we reinforce a pre-existing character. So though we had 7 teardrops, or whatever the hell these are, and we had $9,000, the reason we only have 15 instead of 16 is because we unlocked her, which didn't give us a teardrop because she was new. Oh, we just learned the mechanic, chat. You're welcome. Now, I don't have a Hololive flag. I kind of want to put up a Hololive flag and just end stream to this music. Is it sacrilegious if I end stream to this music but with the American flag? Probably. We're gonna do it anyways. Thank you one and all for joining us. We did not get Hachima, but we have at least 2 more streams to do that in. Probably not until next month, sadly, but that's okay. This has paid great dividends. I'm going to actually share this with another streamer who does reading streams in case they'd be interested in this format. But this has turned out really well. Turned out better than I could have imagined. I forgot to switch the just chatting the final time around to Holocure. It's fine, don't worry about it, okay? If somebody watched this deep into the stream, they're gonna just be like, I'm just gonna wait for it anyways. It's cool, it's cool. But this format was a spur of the moment, turned out wonderfully. It seems to have entertained you guys, and that makes me really happy. I'm happy you liked it as much as I did. It gave breath for the reading, because one problem I have when I do the reading is I get like brain rotted if I read for too long, and I kind of get like stumbled and start like messing up the words. Like I kind of overdo it, and this forces me to pace myself. It's really clean. It's really nice. I like it a lot. We kind of didn't talk about the stories while playing the game as much as I should, but that's something we can also work on in the future because this is the first time we've done it. But I keep like kind of blue balling you and like being like we're about to sign off. This time we are going to sign off. Subscriptions are still available. However, the most important thing is whether you have been a VOD watcher or you've caught us live, whether you have lurked like a little like Dr. Hyde, like Mr. Hyde, or you were a chatter, a regular talkie pants like Dr. Jekyll. I can't get their names right, I'm a dumbass. But don't worry about it, because we're at the end of stream, we don't need to worry about much more. You're all beloved and awesome and cool and shit. Totes my goats, bro. However, we have reached the end of our broadcasting hours. And I must say, from me to the bottom of my heart, I hope that you have a great day and a wonderful life. This is Merrick Vespa signing off from me to you. Now let me commit some American sacrilege right now by instead of having the American anthem, we're just gonna close to this for like 3 minutes. I'm gonna look for another stream just for shits and giggles. I'm gonna see if there's like another stream I can redirect to because I keep meaning to do that. You see, me rambling has paid dividends. I don't think Sleepy Project's gonna still be streaming. If she was, I'd totally redirect you there. I don't know. Here's a guy playing a cowboy game. Sure. Hold up, let me get to his stream open. Copy, perfect. This guy's playing a cowboy stream. Has nothing to do with what we were reading. But I'm a pioneer, commonly mistaken for a cowboy. I don't fight it anymore. Go watch this. It's fucking Sekigami. He really likes Pipkin Pippa. He's a Shota. Go watch it. It's cool, bro. Now I'm gonna shut the hell up so you can enjoy the song or go over there. Have a good one. I hope that's the right link. It was the right link.